Okay. YouTube? Did it work the first time? It did. Okay. We got the same name. We need to switch that up. No, not it. Okay. Let's go here. There we go. There we go. We don't have a Discord link in here. Do we? No, we don't. Let's go grab that. It's not in this one either. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. You go right there. Okay. That'll do for now. That'll do for now. Okay. We don't have any stats pulled up. So actually, let's go to the stats on YouTube to see what those are talking about. Okay, we got 2 viewers on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Twitch. Let's go. We are back. A second day in a row. Actually, I still need to post this, so I'm actually not ready to go yet, but we're getting there. So yeah, let me just do this real quick. Finally tuned on channel notifications. Sammy, what's good? What's good? What's going on? You missed the live yesterday. It's okay. Yesterday was like a test run. We were really test running. Ron was very active in the chat, but we were really just test running the multi stream because we are streaming on Twitch and on YouTube right now. So we're on both platforms, and we do have a viewer on Twitch as well. Let's go. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, no, I don't like that. You ever like take a picture and like you don't like the still of your face, so you got to run the picture back. You definitely got to run the picture back. That's what just happened to me right there. Okay. All right, give me a second. I got to post this. If you guys have me on Instagram, you guys will see this right now. Sorry. I can't talk and type. I'm not a good multitasker. I'm typing right now and I'm talking. But like it's very difficult for me. Here we go. Wow, I've never done that before. Is it the same as? Oh, it is. Okay, and then we got to put the links. So we got to go over here. I wonder if in my studio I can see the link to the live right now. I'm talking out loud. No, I can't. So I got to go to the YouTube. Got to go to actual YouTube, and we'll get the link. I actually have some things I want to talk about today, also too. So we will get into that in a minute as well. But before I have to post I have to do the sharing and post this link and post that link, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. If you don't understand it, you don't understand it. But if you know, you know. But if you were here, say you were here, because that's all that matters. Is you guys are in the chat, and yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Okay, one more link. You can't add more than one link sticker to your story. Hello. Okay, we'll do YouTube since we care about YouTube more. Wow, Instagram, that's crazy. That's actually crazy, Instagram. I can't believe. I just can't believe. What? Okay, one more and then we'll get into it. Did that picture save? It didn't. We got to take another picture. Right now. Okay, everybody smile. I'm so goofy. Okay. I like that one. Okay, I like that one. I can see myself on my other screen. I think I can post 2 links on Instagram though. On Twitter though. Come join up. Okay. YouTube. We'll put do we have the YouTube link still copied? We do. Okay. And Twitch. We got to go grab the Twitch link, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. We'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, we got 3 on YouTube right now, and we got 1 on Twitch. So we got 4 viewers right now. That's okay. What I need to get, and that's the next thing I'm going to add to the stream, is I want to add like a live view counter. So like it'll show me how many views I have combined on YouTube and on Twitch. We'll get there though. We're not there yet. Okay. I pulled up the stream. Copy link. Okay. We got all the links. If you guys see my chat also too, like if you guys see my chat in the chat box on the screen right here, that's because I was testing. We got to test things out sometimes. You know, I wanted to get like I used to have this other overlay. Let me see if I can actually show this overlay. So this overlay, I thought I had like a slight background on that one. The font was a little bigger too as well. But you know, it is what it is. It's whatever. We should actually add the Samuel Akem show on here. Yes, we should. Okay. Okay. If you were here, you were here. If you weren't, you weren't. You missed out. Sorry. But here we go. I am very, very excited, and I'm a little hot right now, too. Maybe I'm a little nervous. Maybe the camera gets me a little nervous. 3 viewers on Twitch? What? Hey, for those of you guys who are on Twitch right now, sub to the channel. Sub to the channel right now. Or follow. You don't have to sub. I know subbing, like you got to pay money. Follow the channel right now. We got the followers on YouTube. Follow on Twitch right now. If you're watching on Twitch right now. L topic, speak about Bron to the Heat. Okay, let's address that actually. So yesterday, we were on live, and Katie Trey, my friend, Nicholas, he said that Bron was going to the Heat. And, you know, we went and looked. We went and looked on Shams, and Shams hadn't posted anything. So I was doubting him. And turns out we're actually in a group chat together. And after the live concluded, I got, obviously, you know, I started searching the web and everything, started sending things into the chat. And I sent did you guys see yesterday that, actually, let me just do this while we're on stream. Let's just do this right here. Who actually posted that, though? That's why I need to see it. NBA Central. Okay, we're going to go to NBA Central Twitter account real quick. And I'll tell you guys what I'm talking about. You guys actually might know what I'm talking about. But it was actually funny because I saw it, and I guess Nick has sources. So this was posted yesterday on actually, no, we're not gonna do that. This was posted yesterday on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. The Miami Heat official YouTube channel had LeBron's introductory press conference scheduled for July 27th. Murkies. Hey, what's up, my boy? What's going on? Yes, said LaFlop to the Heat. Oh, LaFlop. Dang, Nick. Okay. Not Nick didn't say that, but I know Nick is a Heat guy, so he's calling your boy LaFlop, man. But yeah, so they posted this. What's up, Murkies? What's going on, my boy? Appreciate you for tapping in. I know you came from Instagram because you follow me on Instagram. So that's why you got to post the stream. That's why I'm talking about myself. But that's why you got to post the stream. Instagram, post it on Twitter. Who knows who shows up? Hey, wherever you're watching from, Murkies, I know you're probably already subbed to the channel, but sub to the channel. Throw me a like on the video right now. Oh, shoot. You guys are looking at all my shit. I'm so sorry. I'm still new to this. I'm still new. This is only my second day out here. You're streaming right now? I posted a minute on Insta too. You're streaming? What? Let me check this out. Actually, we're in the middle of something. I'm sorry. So the Miami Heat's official YouTube channel, they had posted this introductory press conference from LeBron, talking about LeBron James, which is a little interesting. Like, yo, does that mean? And they tried to backtrack. I wonder if NBA Central posted it. They said basically like it was a mistake, and you know, like they don't really know if he's coming or not, but they were just doing it just in case. Like, yeah, right. Anyway, whoever it was is looking for a job now because look at this. They actually, this was posted 18 hours ago. Director YouTube strategy. They fired that person. They said, you need to get the hell out of here. We don't know what you think you're doing, posting stuff like that. It was probably some intern, maybe in college. Like, we got to cut them some slack. They are gone now. They are jobless now. So, unfortunately, that is how the cookie crumbles. But so I sent that into the chat after I had doubted Nick on stream, and I got to give him his credit. He might be right. We still don't know. We still don't know. And there's a bunch of weird reports coming out about like, you know, just everything. They're talking about everything. Like, oh, he's disgruntled because Adam Silver didn't commit to, what did they say? They said Adam Silver didn't Adam Silver's pushing him to make a decision, so now that made him mad. Like, these can't be. I know they're the reports that are out, but it can't be real. Like, that can't be a real report, right? Like, you are too grown, Bron, to be mad about Adam Silver wanting you to, like, come on, bro. That can't be the case. Oh, Murky is on Twitch. Okay. What if, so go ahead and follow the Twitch account, Murkies. Go ahead and follow the Twitch account. I see you're in the Twitch chat. So go ahead and follow the Twitch account. What if he doesn't actually go, though? Golden State soon? Are you a Golden State fan? I feel like that's the only reason you would say that. People keep whispering, oh, he followed. So look, we have an activity feed on the OBS over here, and we got our first activity. Murky's just follow. We don't have a sound to play or anything like that, but that's a monumental moment. We just got another follower on Twitch. So now we have 12 followers on Twitch. This is just, we're just breaking all-time records all over the place. Thank you, Murky's Art and Designs. If you guys are looking for somebody to do some graphic design for you, Murky's, he's actually in high school, but he is a young, up-and-coming graphic designer. He got you covered with everything. Hold up the link schedule, King-ish. Man, no, for real, though, like, that's actually, first things first, on the LeBron point, it's actually crazy that Adam Silver would come out and say that, hey, we can't put the schedule together until LeBron makes a decision. But also, it's crazy that LeBron, as a 40-year-old grown man, would admit that, hey, I'm mad that you are pushing me to make a decision, so I'm going to delay my decision more. I actually want to look up that quote because that's crazy. LeBron, let me see. I'm going to say LeBron decision because I can't remember exactly what it said. Can't remember exactly. Oh, yeah, here it is right here. Here it is right here. They said LeBron reportedly is irritated with Adam Silver pushing him for a decision, per Andy Baskin. James Kemp was ready to make an announcement last week, but decided to hold off. Like, yo, this can't be real. This actually can't be real. What are you talking about? You're irritated, bro. Just tell us where you're going. Stop with all the theatrics, bro. Please. Cut it out. Also, the reason I feel like some of these reports, I mean, I don't know, man. They just feel fake. Like, there's no way LeBron, as a 41-year-old man, would say, I'm disgruntled. Bro, just talk a show radio host in Cleveland. Other radio hosts make up things all the time. Exactly, bro. And that's what I was about to do next, Nick. I was about to click on the account and be like, who is this guy? I'm sure, and every time the pages like quote a page like that, like, it's usually somebody who has a following, somebody who's in, you know, a journalist and reporting, or something. Like, they do some type of reporting. But, like, I just want to know where like you said, Nick, he's probably, because this guy doesn't even tweet that much. March 11th. His last tweet was on May 19th. So he had to be 92.3 The Fan. Isn't that like the big radio? Isn't that like the big outlet that they do, like the don't they do the ESPN radio from that station as well? I think they do. I'm pretty sure that's like a pretty big station in Cleveland. I haven't spent a ton of time in Cleveland, but, like, I don't know much about Cleveland. Has left how many teams now? To be real, I was actually thinking about this the other day, Ron. You say disgruntled LeBron has left how many teams now? He actually hasn't left that many teams. He was on the Cleveland Cavaliers to start his career. He went to the Miami Heat, and he went to the Lakers. Like, a lot of people call Bron a team hopper, but, like, he's really not a team hopper like that. Like, he's really only been on 3 teams, which is not, I mean, you think about Russ. Russ has been on a ton of teams. You think about, who are you saying? Klay Thompson, what, has he been on 3 teams now? No, he's only been on the Mavericks and the Warriors. But, like, there's a ton of people who have been on a bunch of teams. And, I mean, Paul George, what are we talking about? Paul George has, KD has been on the Thunder. He snaked us. Then he went to the Warriors. Then he went to the Nets. Then he went to the Suns. Now he's on the Heat. Now he's on the Rockets. Like, bro, come on, dog. Come on. Bron is not a team hopper like that, Ron. Bron is not the guy you think he is. KD is who you think Bron is. KD is who you think Bron is, for sure. Okay, I had some things in my Discord channel that I wanted to get to. Actually, let me retweet this real quick. I got to just retweet my own post, you know, just to let people on my Akem Show Twitter know, you know. Don't even worry about it. Okay, let's get into the Discord channel. Let's actually get into the NFL stuff that I had in my reactions channel first. Actually, this is actually crazy. So the people that ESPN let go the other day, and they let go of a bunch of people in the production team. And I'm not going to lie, like, outside of some of the NFL names that ESPN let go, I actually didn't know about a bunch of the people, like Carl Ravitch, that people were, I guess they said he's like a 30-year tenured guy at ESPN. I didn't know about any of these guys. I'm not going to lie. I had no idea. But Ryan Clark obviously is the big name that they let go of. But one thing I've heard a lot of people talk about, and one thing that I thought about immediately is just like, hey, that boy got the pivot. Like, this is exactly why, and it's going to get into another conversation about the media business and what Colton Nuan has told me when I got into the media. But I want to talk about these names first. So Ryan Clark, obviously a big name. MLB play-by-play announcer and host Carl Ravitch. I put my hands up. I didn't know who that was. Tom Pelissero. He's like so my thing about Tom Pelissero is like, obviously he, to me, was an insider, and it says NFL Network insider. But to me, low-key, I'm not going to lie, like, it felt like he was always behind. Like, I feel like Adam Schefter dominates the NFL insider game. Like, yeah, Tom Pelissero would break some news sometimes, and the dude, like, I feel like I never hear from who's the dude from Fox, who bald-headed dude who's got like the whey, he works with like whey protein or something like that. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. He's got a raspy voice. Anyway, him, I always hear about him and they always talk about him. Yes, Jay Glazer. Thank you, Nick. Jay Glazer. Like, I never hear about him. Like, I feel like I never hear about him, but he's some great insider. And I'm not even trying to, like, I'm not an insider. I'm not even trying to shit on their game or anything like that. But like, I feel like I never hear about him. But Tom Pelissero, I feel like is the same. Like, that boy is always behind. And obviously Adam Schefter is the biggest in the game. Like, he's there for a reason. So then you had David Lloyd, a Sports Center anchor. Let me look this guy up. But by the name, a lot of these guys, it's like by name, I have no idea who you are, brother. I'm gonna be real. David Lloyd. Oh, I've seen this guy. I've seen this guy. You guys have seen this guy, right? On ESPN? Yeah. I've seen him for sure. Tough. Anytime somebody gets fired, man, that's tough. Stephanie Bell. I feel like I've heard that name. Injury/fantasy football analyst. I feel like I've heard that name. Now I'm going to have to look her up. Stephanie Bell. I don't think I've seen her. I think I've seen her. I'll show in a second. I'm trying to find a picture. None of these are closed up, but I feel like I've seen her. Have you guys seen her? Stefania. Is it Stefania? Stefania Bell? Commands. Damn. What's that? What does that mean? Exclamation commands. Is that like a command? Do I need to add that to my stream bot? Do I need to add a stream bot? Let me know, Murkies. Let me know. Okay, I'll just actually keep this shared though. You should get some commands and stuff in here. Yes, hey, help me out. DM me. Let me know. I don't know what that is, but let me know what that is. I'm still new. So Charles Davis, I do know who Charles Davis is. Charles Davis is an NFL Network analyst. It's so funny because, like, you know, I'm always looking for people. With me being like in the media now and things like that, Charles Davis is somebody I looked at. Now, obviously, you know, I played football, but I didn't play in the NFL. And like, you know, to get at the highest levels of the media, I don't know if it's so much this way. I mean, there's a ton of people who are in the media who didn't play football at a high level. But Charles Davis was somebody who I looked at. He actually did play in the NFL. He went to Tennessee. He was undrafted in 1987, but he literally was only on the Dallas Cowboys in 1987, and he was on an offseason or practice squad member. He didn't get any further than that, but he's been in the media for a very, very long time. And I'm always kind of trying to look at people like that. Like, I played 1 year in the USFL over here, and then, you know, that was the extent of my professional career. I didn't even get up to the NFL, unfortunately. But I'm always looking for people who are in media, who've been in media for a long time, who don't have like an extensive NFL resume, because I feel like that's kind of where I am. PV versus everybody. What's the word? What's going on? Hey, PV versus everybody. I'm going live on Saturday night after. Man, I'm so sick. I didn't even realize this. I'm so sick, PV. I thought I was gonna get to watch the Prairie View A&M versus Tarleton State, and I am going to have it on in the press box on my iPad, but I thought I was going to get to sit down and really watch it and really, like, you know, get into it. But Montana's game starts the exact same time, and obviously I'm on site for all of the home games for the Grizz as a credential media member. So I won't be able to like directly watch that game, but PV versus everybody, I am going to go live after that game, the Montana game and all that stuff. So I will be adding you in a post that night. Like, I'll be adding you when I go live, and like, hey, if you can just retweet it. All I need is a retweet. Get some of those Prairie View A&M fans to come join up in the live where we're recapping the Tarleton game. We'll be recapping all the games. So it'll be it's a late for a CST game. Yeah, so you guys are on. So it'll be 8 for y'all because it says 7 for us. Both games start at 7 for us. That's what I'm saying, man. I saw this post a couple of months ago. They were talking about the best time zone. And they said that the people were asking, what is the best time zone? Some people were saying Pacific time. I personally feel like Mountain Time is the best time zone, anything sports related. Argue with the wall. I grew up on Central Time in Oklahoma. I've lived what would I say, the last 10 years of my life on Mountain Time. And Mountain Time is elite, man. Mountain Time is absolutely elite. But they let Charles Davis go. And Charles Davis is somebody, back to my NFL conversation. They let Charles Davis go. And Charles Davis is somebody who I've been looking at as like, you know, somebody who's kind of similar to me in the media, doesn't have an extensive NFL career, little professional football. But I do think he has like a journalist background. I don't know what he got his degree in, Richard and Rikers Auburn. I don't know. That doesn't really matter. You don't really need like a journalistic degree to get into it. But I don't know. I'm always looking for interesting stories in the media to see somebody like who's like me, who wants to get into the media. And also just like, I will say he took a different path to get into the media. I mean, I haven't really looked at like his career arc. What did it say? 87, he was on the Cowboys. So national broadcasting. So yeah, he's been around the block for a minute though. He's definitely been around the block. But Charles Davis, somebody to let go. First take. So Cam Newton, I don't think he was necessarily like. Obviously, he received. I'm sure he received some type of check from ESPN, but it probably wasn't anything of significance. He's probably making more money from 4th and 1 and from Funky Friday. But he was a contributor on First Take with during the football season, so they let him go as well. And maybe that's why they let him go. Like maybe he was just a contributor, but they're paying him like he's a guy at ESPN. That would make a lot of sense as well. Bart Scott, I knew about Bart Scott's radio show. I don't really watch. The only time I ever saw Bart, and that's the thing too, is like, do you guys ever like pay attention to ESPN and pay attention to some of the people that are hired at ESPN and like, you may never see somebody like I may see somebody for like one time on ESPN on Get Up. I may see them one time on First Take, or I may see them on some show in the morning. And outside of that, I never see these people. I'm like, yo, you work at ESPN? Like, where do you be at? Anyway, that was somebody I felt, oh my gosh, we got a LeBron defender in here. LeBron isn't washed, no way. Guy's playing till he is 50. Yo, we did not disrespect. I did not disrespect LeBron, but hey, talk your shit. Bart Scott's gone. Combat Sports reporter Andreas Hale is gone. And ESPN, like, see, I don't know these guys. Anyway, those are some of the guys they let go of ESPN. And what I wanted to get on about that was, I remember when I was getting into the media business, and I remember I had this sales opportunity. I work in sales right now with the company that I work with, Snap Mobile. But there was another company that I was like juggling, and it was what was it? K-Pax in town. And it was a sales job, but they knew like I was involved in media. And I don't know to what extent they wanted to use me on the media side to any extent, but I know, that was something that I was interested in. Like I was interested in being used on the media side to whatever extent they wanted to use me. But obviously that's my passion. That's what I want to talk about football. I want to talk about, that aspect of things. So, I kind of talked to them about, and they really wanted me, respect to Jason and Shauna, like they were great and they're awesome people and they really wanted me. And I don't know, for some reason my wife, the job with the Snap Mobile had come to me through my wife's family, and I wasn't really messing with this job, to be real. Like I didn't really think it was. I wanted the K-Pax job a little bit more just because it was still around the media, even though I would have been in sales. Like I would have been selling advertising. So, like if you guys see my sponsors with Sportsbet, you guys see my sponsor with L&M, I would have been doing that for K-Pax. And I was really leaning that way. And for some reason, my wife convinced me to take the Snap Mobile job. I can't even remember what she had said. Everybody came up a different way. A lot of people came up people who came up, loving journalism and like I didn't necessarily know journalism was an outlet for me until, few years after, I had already decided my college decision and all that stuff. Like I didn't learn about this stuff until really after I was done with college. Anyway, I'm not trying to poop on, but Coulter told me like getting in through traditional media might not be the way for me to go. He said maybe that's not where I wanted to go. And so one thing Coulter always loved about me and doing the media was he loved that I had my own channel. He loved that I had my own platform. He loved that I had my own place to where I could drop my own content. And I remember Cam Newton actually talked about this when he got let go from ESPN. And that brings up a point that I wanted to bring up, is that like have your own media. Like the media landscape is so ever changing. And I don't know if I would call myself new media. I'm certainly not traditional media because, I don't have a journalism background. I don't write. I've written one article in my time, which I'm very proud of, but just like, I don't do what traditional media does. And, I don't feel like I present myself as traditional media, but I feel like I do a good job. And, I hope I do a good job. And it just made me think about how grateful I am to have my own platform and, to have my own place to talk about the game and talk about the sport I love. And I don't know, just like, I don't know. Coulter's been a great mentor to me. I know you guys hear me talk about him a lot, but just like the guidance that he was able to give me in from that aspect, and the way he was able to let me know, like, hey, maybe this isn't where you want to go. And I didn't even finish that point. One thing Coulter has always appreciated. One thing Coulter told me is, like, I remember when I first started dropping videos, and Coulter kind of reached out to me to see if we wanted to collab on some things. I remember he said, like, the number one thing that I like that you have is, like, you have content. Like, one thing that I don't think a lot of people understand about the media business and about creating content is, like, it's not easy, man. Like, having a camera, I mean, this took me a long time to get it set up like this, like having the double screens, having my camera, having my light. I've had the light for a long time, but having a strong computer and all these things, like, I always wanted to go live, and I tried to go live on my laptop. I tried to go live on my laptop. It just wasn't, my computer wasn't strong enough to support what I wanted to do. So I needed better equipment, and I got the better equipment. And, like, but that's one thing he always said was, like, the fact that I was dropping my own content, the fact that I was editing my own videos, the fact that I didn't need to go to ESPN, the NBC studio in Missoula to do radio with him. I didn't need, like, I had all my own equipment. I was able to drop my own content. Like, I think that goes a long way. And also, I think a lot of people who aren't in this space don't really understand how difficult it truly is to make content, to drop videos, to be in front of the camera, to talk on the mic. Like, it's a lot. And, Cam's point was actually really solid. Yeah, Cam's point was really, really solid. And I'm actually going to play that video of what Cam talked about, because he made some good points. It's a 6-minute video, so we're not going to listen to all of it, but I do want to play some of it. Zach, what's up? And we all should take heed. Exactly. PV versus everybody is speaking the gospel. Like, the new media space. And actually, I'm so thankful that Zach's in the chat too, because Zach is somebody else that I was able to reach out to earlier this offseason. And I just had a ton of questions that I had to get over to him. Like, I just had a ton of questions. I was like, man, I'm interested about this. Zach is somebody else who has gone, I don't know if I mean, Zach has gone way more of a traditional route than me. Like, Zach, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but has a media background, has a journalism background. He's worked he's done production. Like, I've never been on the production side of a show. Like, I've only produced my own shows. I've never been on the production side. But Zach has done all of it, and he's just got a ton of experience and a ton of time on task. So the ability to talk to him about that stuff has been great too. But just to reemphasize, having your own brand, and building your own brand, building your own channel. Like, I've appreciated what people have told me, and I've appreciated kind of watching the media landscape kind of evolve over the years since I've been in this space, and being able to have my own platform, man. Like, it's huge, and I never take it for granted. Like, I just appreciate being able to have my own platform and being able to build it from that standpoint. But let's look at what Cam had to say. Let me exit out of some of these windows. Let's listen to what Cam had to say a little bit. I'll try to skip around, but he talks about basically having your own platform. YouTube and podcast is where the real sports reporting goes down. ESPN is not all that anymore. Man, talk about it. Did too. Hell yeah, you do an awesome job. I'm not going to read that right now, but thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. I want to get into the video. I got to get used to, like, I feel like right now I'm early on, and, like, I'm being very transparent right now. I'm very early on, so I want to read every chat. But I know, like, as things grow, like, I'm not gonna be able to read every chat. But I do see the chats, and I appreciate you guys for all the love. Thank you so much. But here's what Cam had to say.
Alongside with some of the most talented journalists and, sports individuals that cover sports.
And let me say this. I mean, this is why Cam having his own platform. This is why Cam having a nuclear physicist by trade, FCS Superman by night. But this is why Cam having his. I mean, look at this studio that Cam Newton is using. This is this is the dream. Obviously, like, I've tried to do a little bit with my office where I'm at right now, and I've tried to put some things in here. Like, it doesn't look great. I had somebody DM me, and I want that person to know I saw your DM, and, like, there's only so much I can do in here. I want to put, like, a shelf back. I just don't know. I'm not great. I'm not super creative. I'm gonna be very real with you guys. Like, I'm not super creative. So, like, trying to fix up my studio and stuff like that, I don't really know a lot what to do. But, like, the fact that Cam has a studio like this, and he can, like, this is just absolutely incredible, bro. Like, what he has here is absolutely incredible, man. Like, this is the dream. Having something like that is the dream, and he owns this. That's the biggest thing. He owns that studio. He owns his IP, his YouTube channel. He owns the audio. He owns the audio on Funky Friday. He owns the audio on 4th and 1, and he owns the YouTube channel on both. That is great leverage. Like, you don't need a network at that point. Working, like, that's why he was a contributor on First Take. I don't need an ESPN job. Having an ESPN job is great, and like he's about to mention in here, it was like an internship.
Was something that it got me to realize and have a newfound respect for the skill. Molly Carroll, Shea Cornett, obviously Stephen A. Smith,
Yeah.
Ryan Clark, when you had Dan Orlovsky, Peter Schrager, the list goes on, and all the countless producers and support team that went into making sure that I was equipped with all the information each and every episode. It was second to none. So when you hear certain things, it was like, dang, it's messed up how they did Ryan. Hold on real quick. Hey, you could go with it too. That's something. Because for me, if this isn't a way for all athletes and even content creators to learn one important rule of the times that we live in right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't own your own platform, you're going to get overlooked, bypassed, and be extinct just like dinosaurs. Look at what's happening here.
Man, he said it right there. If you don't own your own platform, you're going to get left behind. And even think about the people who got into traditional media and are traditional media. Like, I know a lot of people like have things in their contracts to where, like, if you work for a Scripps or an MTM Sports, a K-Pax, or some of those things, like, you can't have your own platform. Like, you can't do anything else outside of what you're doing for your network. So that maybe is another reason why some people may not get into traditional media. But think about like a Stephen A. Smith. Obviously, Stephen A. Smith is at ESPN. I think he's an executive producer of First Take now. So he's actually got some power at ESPN at this point. But he's been at ESPN so long, he was able to negotiate with them and say, hey, I am going to start my own YouTube channel. He has 2 YouTube channels now. He has the Stephen A. Smith Show, which is like 1.3 million subscribers. And then he also has Stephen A. Smith Sports. And I was looking at the numbers on what is it called? Something Blade. I can't remember the name of it. I have it on my laptop down here. But Social Blade. It's called Social Blade. And this is where you can look up channels. You can find their analytics and things like that. And I don't know how accurate it is. It gives you a range, but it's really good at, kind of showing you what the analytics of somebody's channel is. And I looked up both his channels. His second channel, Stephen A. Smith Sports, which has 45,000 subs, and the main channel has 1.3 million subs, is getting like 4 million views in the last month. And it's got like, 30, I think it's gained like 30,000 subs in the last month. Maybe not that many, but it's gained a lot of subs in the last month, and it's doing really, really well. And, if these numbers persist as football season is going to start, is only going to grow. Like, this guy has 2 YouTube channels. Stephen A. Smith is now in the points. Dan Liebetard said it earlier. I didn't put that clip in the chat, but Dan Liebetard said it earlier. Like, Stephen A. Smith is at the point, let me go full screen. Stephen A. Smith is at the point now where he views, maybe he doesn't view it this way, but ESPN is like a second job for him. ESPN is like his secondary job. His main job is his main channel. And somebody like Stephen A. Smith even understood, hey, these people may be done with me one day. Now, Stephen A. Smith is absolutely cleaned up at ESPN. He has made all the money. He's cashed all the checks. Like he's got what he could out of corporate media that he could. But if there is ever a day where they say, Stephen A. Smith, we are done with you. We wiped our hands clean. We've got everything we could out of you. You don't really sell anymore. He doesn't need ESPN. And that is where I think the media is growing an audience where people really rock with you. People really trust you. And he made a career out of mocking Jerry Jones. Yeah, but then they ended up doing that video together, and like they seem like, best buds. I want to watch a little bit more of this Cam Newton video, but I don't know. He's just speaking the gospel, and it's just so good that these guys are. You just got to listen. Anybody in the chat who's looking at getting into the media space, if like you guys really just have to listen to the people who are in it talking about it, because they'll give the game. And I've realized this as I've gotten older, and I just pay attention. Like, these guys are giving the game for free, man. They're giving it for free. You just have to listen. Cam Newton, somebody giving the game. Freaking, Ryan Clark is somebody giving the game. Colton Nuanez is somebody to give the game. If you walk up to Colton Nuanez, he has his show before the games. Anybody who's in Missoula, ask him to give you the game. Keaton Gilogly at Missoula, the voice of Bozeman, the voice of the Bobcats. He will give you Keaton Gilogly, man. He owes me nothing. I reach out to this guy anytime I reach out to him. This man is giving me the game, man. Somebody who's been in the media business for a long time. Hey, Mercy, just look up Colter Nuanez on Twitter, on Instagram, or go to Skyline Sports. Colter runs the Skyline Sports page. So go to Skyline Sports MT, hit him up. He'll give you all the game. But there's tons of people, Zach McKinnell, somebody else I mentioned, giving the game, man. Like, and that's why I feel so comfortable giving people game. When people come up to me and ask me, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? People were willing to give me the game before, and I wouldn't be here if somebody, Sean Rainey, you know, I haven't really gone to Sean Rainey for game, but Sean Rainey is somebody who gave me, I mean, how many people get a segment on television? Let's be real right now. And this is where corporate media came in to help me. I did not get any money for this, but it was an opportunity. I feel like a lot of people these days, it's like, oh, if they're not paying me, if they're not doing this, they're not doing that, I can't be involved. No, man, like, I don't have any experience, and I knew that. I don't have any experience in media. I don't do this for a job. You putting me on TV in front of some of the biggest audiences in the state of Montana is enough. I remember so many people that year came up to me, said, hey, man, like, I saw your segment on SWX. That was awesome. I'm like, man, just thank you to Sean Rainey, giving me an opportunity when he didn't have to give me an opportunity. He owed me nothing, and it was just awesome. It was just awesome. So I want to get back to this Cam Newton video, but I don't know. People willing to reach out, reach a hand back is so important to me. And if you guys have heard any of my story ever before, there's so many people in my life that have reached a hand back to give me an opportunity that, you know, I wouldn't be here without people like that. I absolutely would not be here without people like that. Let's hear Cam Newton.
Okay.
It's unfortunate what happened to Ryan Clark, but what I will tell you is this: Ryan Clark gonna be okay. The pivot ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate what happened to me. Some would think, but I'm good. 4th and 1 ain't going nowhere. Funky Friday ain't going nowhere.
Not at all.
When you think about what happened to Emmanuel Acho, Joy Taylor, different circumstances, different narratives.
Let me cut in here. G6 football __ 247. We are getting on the Sac State conversation very soon, so stay tuned. But let's finish this.
Works different situations, but this is what you have to understand. When you look at the speakeasy, all right, and when you look at other sports personalities having and taking control of their own narrative, it's imperative that walking into this industry, you would be a fool, asinine behavior if you don't take that opportunity to say, number one, I need to learn as much as I possibly can because I do not know when that time is going to call when I get tapped on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, also take this as a way to bring more attention, more eyeballs, and to also magnify your personal IP.
Absolutely. And magnifying your personal IP. I'm not done with this video. Man, he's dropping so many good gems in this video. We might just have to watch the whole thing. But just like, that's how I saw Zach. I know you guys saw Zach's comment in the chat. Like, don't make it about the money. I'm talking to you, Merksy, if you want to get into the media business. Don't make it about the money. Any opportunities people are giving you, take those opportunities, man. Like me, when I got on the news with Sean, he gave me that, and it was literally like a minute-long segment every week. That is not a lot of time for people to see me, but everybody is watching the sports, and we don't have a pro team in Montana. So if somebody's on there talking about Montana, if somebody's on there talking about Montana State, they are freaking gonna listen. And I got an opportunity to do that for a minute, maybe 30 to 45 seconds. I think low-key went over the time that he gave me. He probably had to chop up my videos. Anyway, it was an opportunity. Like, that was an opportunity not only for me to speak in front of the camera and be on the news and all those things, but also for me to grow my impact on like have people see me. Hey, come over to my YouTube channel that I was young and growing. I think I might have had 1,000 subscribers at that point, and I've only grown 1,800 since then. So we're really trying to push to get over 3,000, get to 4,000, 5,000, all that. The road to 5,000 is on right now. We're close to 3,000, but the road to 5,000 is really the number. But it was an opportunity for me to grow my brand. It was an opportunity for me to grow my brand. Anytime you see an opportunity for you to grow your brand, for to collab somebody with, to work with other people, take that opportunity and don't always look at it for the money, because I've always told Coulter this as well. Like, the money will come. The money is going to come. If you are doing the right thing, if you're putting in the work, if you're putting in the hours, like, the money is going to come. You can't focus on the money. You got to focus on making good content, making good videos. Do people appreciate the perspective that you bring? Do people appreciate listening to the content that you're producing? Do people all of that stuff matters. Quality matters. Don't focus on the money, because if you focus on the money, you might not even get the money. There's not a lot of money in this in the beginning. There's not a lot of money in it at all. And that's the other thing. Like, if you don't know the media business, you don't know where that money is at. So really open up your ears, close your mouth, and just listen. Because then once you start to listen, you'll figure out where the money is at. You'll figure out where you can go make those dollars. You'll figure out how to sell advertising. You'll figure out how to monetize a YouTube channel. You'll figure out how all of that stuff works. But I had no idea. I literally had no idea how to sell an ad when I first got into media. That matters, There are literally some people, and I know this just because I watch so many shows and I pay attention to so many things. There are literally people who are in the media business who don't know how to sell advertising. And I'm not the best. I'm not getting on here acting like I'm the best salesman either, because I'm not, and I work in sales. I don't work in advertising sales, but I work in sales. And like, I'm not the best at selling advertising. And there's people in this business who literally, like, think about some of the bigger athletes who get shows given to them or get things given to them. Like, do you think they know how to sell? Like, people, like, think about big athletes who get out of the game and like they're given a podcast. Do you think those guys know how to sell advertising? And I'm sure some of them do. I'm not discounting that some of them do. But a lot of people have to hire out for that type of stuff. They have to hire somebody to do sales. Imagine if you come into the business, and this is why Coulter, being the mentor that he is, Coulter actually works at ESPN. He's a radio personality. He originally is a writer. He grew up in traditional journalism, traditional media, but he's a writer, but also he's sales at ESPN. So he sells advertising. He knows that. And he's the one been teaching me the game about selling advertisement, how to, all that stuff, man. And, imagine how much of an asset it is as if you have your own brand, you have your own thing, but also you can sell advertising. The ads that I have on my channel, me getting Sportsbet Montana on my channel last year, that did not come from anybody. I reached out to Sportsbet Montana, giving them a little pitch. They reached back out to me. I got a meeting, and they wanted to work with me. And I worked with them for the whole season. And same with L&M Fine Jewelry. Now, Coulter went to me with L&M Fine Jewelry, but we're going on year 3 with L&M Fine Jewelry working with me and my channel. Like, man, having all the game, knowing all the aspects of the business will only benefit you. And it may be slow in the beginning. You may be slow learning in the beginning, but once you finally get your feet underneath you and you have those connections and you understand how things work, it makes all the difference, man. I know I'm rambling. I know I'm going on, but I feel like I'm making some good points. If you guys are in the chat and you guys think I'm giving some good points, let me know, because I feel like I might be doing a little bit too much. Let's get back to Cam.
I knew that that's what my intentions were.
Yeah.
They knew that that was what my intentions were. I was counseled to say, Cam, there's not another platform on linear television in your field like ESPN. And that was truer words that could not be spoken any clearer. You can't make me hate ESPN.
Yeah.
What I've learned, it was an internship almost. The production value, they're the leading sports source for a reason. They have the leading talent, not only in front of the camera, but behind the scenes. So when the news came about, yes, I felt like anybody else would.
Because I was going to say, did you see it coming?
I didn't, but that's not the topic that I want to kind of belabor on.
Yeah.
Only thing I can look at now, I will not be going back to First Take.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, I still left with some things that you can't pay for. And that's relationships.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's connection.
Think about all the people. So think about this for a second. Shannon Sharp was let go of Fox a couple of years ago, and that's when he ended up starting Nightcap. Nightcap is one of the biggest sports shows. Whatever you feel about Shannon Sharp, whatever you feel about Ocho Cinco, Nightcap is one of the biggest sports shows in the industry. And the way that came about, Shannon Sharp met Ash. She's like his manager. She produces his show. She's like his producer on the back end. He met her. She was working at Fox. When he got fired from Fox, he let a couple of people know, hey, I'm gonna bring you guys with me over here, and I'm gonna do my own thing. Obviously, paying them out of his pocket before they, before they were in the green and all those things. If they are in the green, I don't know all their financials, but he's paying those people. And think about those connections that he was able to make. Shannon Sharp doesn't know. I mean, if you have ever watched Shannon Sharp literally does not know how to work his technology. He doesn't work his social. He says, I think he works his Twitter, because like the way he types on Twitter, unless that's his person working his Twitter, like Shannon Sharp will tell you, he said it all the time on the show. He doesn't know how to work technology, but he has a thriving Club Shay Shay. He has a thriving, and this is kind of the example. I'm sure Shannon Sharp's probably not selling any advertisement. He's the face. He is the face of that brand, and obviously he's great on camera. He's phenomenal on camera, and he's a freaking Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer, so people are going to tune in just alone from that, from his time on Fox and Undisputed and all that stuff. But like, he made connections at Fox that he was able to take to his next endeavor, and now his next endeavor, dare I say, is even more successful than what Undisputed was. He's got a great relationship with Ocho Cinco. They've added what's his name, ISO Joe, and it's just phenomenal, man. Like, those are the type of things, making connections that go such a long way, and that's what Cam's talking about here, making connections. I mean, he's made a ton of connections at ESPN that maybe they won't be fruitful right now. Maybe they won't be fruitful in 2 years, 3 years, but they're going to be fruitful down the line. Jen Sweatin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Jen Sweatin. JenSweten. Just followed on Twitch. Thank you, Jens, for following on Twitch. I appreciate you so much, my boy. Appreciate you so much. Unless you followed on YouTube. It doesn't necessarily tell me. It says just followed. I believe that's a Twitch follow. Anyway, we're going to get back to this Cam video real quick.
That's to be able to say, man, dog, we can agree to disagree, bro. But boy, Ryan, boy, you brought the best out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Anthony, man, it was a plum pleasing pleasure, brother. Molly, respect you. Shay, respect you. Dan, respect you.
Dano.
Pete, everybody behind the scene. Quaker, everybody behind the scene.
Yeah.
I appreciated that because I did not have that education. I am a former athlete that did not study journalism when I had the opportunity to study it while I was studying school.
Yeah.
So now when you see certain things and you analyze and you start to say, like, this is how production works. You'll be a fool not to take your notes. You'll be a fool not to network and say, hey, man, how do you do this? And then even after, hey, man, I'm calling you and blah, blah, blah. Hey, don't feel sorry. This is a part of the industry that it's unfortunate that not will have to face someday.
True.
Either on your terms or their terms. Your terms, I'm gonna retire. Sometimes retire could be very sketchy because they can force you to.
Mm-hmm.
Their terms is, hey, where the company is going, you don't align with it.
Yeah.
And that's still cool. Bro, I'm a professional at what I do.
Cam was speaking life, man. I don't know how y'all. I don't care how y'all feel about Cam Newton or not. He was speaking the truth to power right there, man. Like, he's really talking the game that people need to know. He's really speaking he's really speaking how, like, man, he's speaking game. He's spitting game right there, man. Preach. Okay. I think I'm really I actually wanted to watch this. So, last thing on the NFL front of things. I saw this video and I saw this John Harbaugh video earlier.
Welcome.
They dropped this video and, like, I don't know. I watched it a little bit earlier, but I couldn't really get into it. Came to really got retired, brother. But oh man, I remember that William and Mary, they came to Bozeman. I remember that, Ron. But this video, you guys let me know in the chat what you guys think about this video. What kind of vibe does this give you? Does this fire you up?
Welcome, man. Good to see everybody here. You excited?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
A little nervous?
Nope.
Huh? A little nervous? A little nervous, man. Nervous? Excited nervous, you know? Nervous like a full game almost, man. Give this thing kick off. Standing up here in front of the New York Giants. The New York Giants. This is a New York Giants sitting in this room. The New York Giants. Wow, it's an honor. It's an honor to stand in front of this room right now. And I know as coaches back there feel the same way, right, coaches?
Sir.
It's an honor, man. We've been working, haven't we? We've been working early and we were late getting ready for today. Today. Sitting in this chair, in this seat, getting to work, getting started, our beginning. Because this is where it all begins, together.
Yo. John, my boy. Oh, not the right one. That was not good, John. I do not feel fired up at all, John. Not one bit. You did not get me going. I don't feel ready to run through a wall. Like, that was not it, John. yo, and like the room should have been a number one indicator as to this is not going well. Nobody was fired up. Nobody was giving him any like, yeah, ooh, yeah, like nothing. And I like John. I think John's a great head coach. But like, yo, maybe, and sometimes like coaches' messages just grow stale. And like, I feel like that was kind of the case. And that's obviously why they let him go at the Ravens. Like his message had grown stale. Like, I feel like I understand why the message had grown stale. If that was what you were putting out in front of those guys in Baltimore, I get why they weren't listening to you anymore. Brother, that was not it. That was not it. You've been doing this for way too long, John. Way too long, John. Like, yo. All right, I'm off that. We're off the NFL. We don't got any more NFL. We'll get to FCS last. Because I got a few FBS things I wanted to talk about before we get into the FCS things. Because they wanted a better conversation. Actually, I want to listen to this quote. So this is from Happy Hour with John Gaskins. Also, somebody else, John Gaskins, in the media business, who was willing to give me the game. He brought me on a show a couple of times. He's been in radio for a long time. He's been in the media for a long time. And he just let me pick his brain. And he just, he let me know some things like, hey, you got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. Like, but he's somebody who has his own show. He does media for a living, like all these things, like, man, another person. But, I just saw a quote from this. It's Mike McFeely talking about the Bisons and their FBS move. So let's watch this real quick.
3 NDSU head coaches now tell me that the players, one of the reasons that some of the kids, not all of them, were transferring from NDSU to go elsewhere was because the players wanted better competition. The Trent Fraleys of the world, the Adam Cofields of the world, they just said, you know what? I'm sick of beating teams 55-10 every week. A couple of games mixed in there, like the Jacks and more recently UND up in Grand Forks have been very competitive. Certainly the title games were always competitive, but when you're playing 12 games and 10 of them suck, if you're a real competitor, you want to go someplace else and compete against better competition. And I've heard from 3 NDSU head coaches that was a factor in some, not all of the transfers. Obviously, this was a factor in many of them. But the other factor was we just want to play better competition. So NDSU is going to do that. If South Dakota State fans are happy where they're at, good. Go win a national championship, knock yourself out, then everybody's happy.
Enjoy it, Mike.
Man, that's actually really interesting. That's actually really, really interesting that, like, and it makes sense too. Oh, shoot. I just absolutely need my desk and we're good. But that's actually really interesting. And it makes sense too, though. It does make a lot of sense because, like, if you think about what NDSU has been over the last 10 to 15 years, like, they've absolutely dominated. They've dominated, and there is a facet of them just dominating teams like the Murray States, like the Indiana States, like anybody who's not South Dakota State, Montana State, like Montana, like they've dominated everybody else. South Dakota got them a couple of times throughout the years as well. And North Dakota, I mean, all the Dakotas have kind of battled, but like for the most part, anybody outside of the Dakotas or the Montana schools, NDSU absolutely ran all over them for the majority. Obviously, James, they've had their battles with people, and I'm not trying to say everybody, but like anybody, they would beat up on everybody, and it makes sense that some guys would be like, but that's actually crazy too, though. Like, because I'm kind of two-faceted on this. Maybe I see it from a different landscape. Maybe I'd see it from a different lens. But like, I'm a player who never won a national championship. So like, understand where I'm talking about. And I'm a player who never won a conference championship. So I'm coming from it from that standpoint. Like, hey, I never won a national championship. I never won a conference championship. I don't have any rings from college. I literally only have one ring from high school, and it's a track ring. I never won anything in football. I never won anything of significance in football. We won our division in high school. That was it, man. I never won, and I beat the Cats one time. So like, literally, but we did beat UW, and all that stuff. So, it is what, not everybody can say they beat an FBS team. Most of those guys in NDSU can't say that though. So they got me beat. Anyway, my point is, like, I see it from a different lens. From the standpoint of, like, I would want to stay and win national championships and win conference championships and like be at a school that I know is going to win. But like a guy who say you've won all 3 national, say you're going into your senior year. In the previous 3 years, you've won 3 conference championships and 1 or 2 national championships. At that point, yeah, maybe the money is cool, but also it's like, man, like, I want to compete at the highest level, and I want to, like, I'm tired of running over people. Like, this actually makes a lot of sense. And it actually, it it lends itself to why, I think they're going to be really good at the FBS. And I know I've talked a ton about NDSU being good at the FBS, but this is just another point of why them going up to the FBS is really good, because like I talked about it last night. I think they're going to be able to recruit better because they're at the FBS. Obviously, they were at the FCS level, and like you can sell national championship, you can sell conference championships all you want, but ultimately, a kid wants to play at the FBS. He wants to play. I don't know what it is, and I wanted it too when I was a kid. I wanted it too, but now that I'm looking back on it, like playing. You understand once you get older and you get a little bit of wisdom. I don't have a ton of wisdom. I got a little bit of wisdom. And you realize that like playing at the next level is a privilege, man. Playing any level of and all these kids want to play D1 FBS. They want to play D1A. They want to play at the P4. Like that just is not realistic all the time. And if you have an NDSU coming at you, whether it's FCS or FBS, that is a great opportunity. But I think it's really going to help NDSU being at the FBS level now. Let me see the rest of this quote and see if they said anything else.
Love to hear from you at some point deep into the season about how it's all going.
Yep. When they're 3-8 and they're about ready to run Polsek, that's not going to happen. That's not going. They'll be fine. They'll, you know what? I've said this before. I've said this on Dom's show. The fun part about this is we don't know what they're going to do.
Nah, I know what they're going to do. I don't need to hear the rest of that quote. I know what they're going to do. They're going to dominate. Mike, they're going to dominate. They're going to be absolutely dominant at the FCS level, at the FBS level in the Mountain West. And the signs are all there. If they're not, hey, y'all can come in my chat. Y'all can come in my comment section and say, hey, you were wrong. And I will accept that. But I think they're going to dominate. Okay, we got 9 on YouTube right now. We got 2 on Twitch right now. Thank you guys all for tuning in. If you aren't subscribed or following the channel, go ahead, follow right now. Subscribe to the channel right now. If you're on YouTube watching and you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. Okay, Merksy said, I saw NDSU has the guys that focus on being in the NFL. Montana financially, Tarleton is spending miles above most FCS competition. Regardless of results, that level of financing will yield an FBS move for them and MSU. Absolutely. The Bobcats have more money than NDSU. Okay, Murky said, let me go scroll up. And I have a hypothetical. If you were the committee and had to pick in between these two teams, who would you pick? I'll put it in a sec. Okay, down here. We got a 10-3 SMU, L versus UVA, North Dakota, or that's Notre Dame, not North Dakota. We are FBS now. And Miami in the ACC chip. 10-3 Houston, L versus OK State, Texas Tech, and Big 12 chip. Is this last year? 10-2 Iowa, L versus OSU, Michigan. 10-2 Penn State, L versus USC, Michigan. 9-3 Alabama, UGA, LSU, Tennessee. Well, this is kind of tough, Murkies, and I know it's probably too much to type, but I would want to know like what the records were of those teams that they lost to. But you don't have to do that. You do not have to put that in the chat. I'm just wondering. Oklahoma, 9-3 Oklahoma, Michigan, UGA. No, these are predictions for the season. Oh, okay. So how many teams do we got here? We got one. We got a 10-3 SMU. 10-3 Houston, 10-2 Iowa, 10-2 Penn State, 9-3 Alabama, 9-3 Oklahoma, and a 9-3 Michigan. Well, 3 lost teams. It's going to be hard to put a 3 loss team in. This is just me. Hey, I'm running this committee. So if I'm running this committee, I'm making the rules. And 3 losses, no matter who those losses are to, 3 losses does matter to me. Now, you got Michigan losing to IU, Oregon, and OSU. That's you got to put the T because I'm from Oklahoma. So OSU is the Pokes, baby. Go Pokes all day. My brother went to Oklahoma State. We're thinking of Oklahoma State or even Oregon State. T, the small T, OSU is Ohio State. But I get what you're talking about. 2 spots available, by the way. Okay, if we got 2 spots, 10-3 SMU, L versus UVA, Notre Dame, and Miami in ACC chip. So they lost to Miami in the ACC chip. That means Miami is probably already in since they won the ACC Conference Championship. 10-3 Houston, L's versus OK State, Texas Tech, and Texas Tech in Big 12 Championship. 10-2 Iowa, L's versus OSU and Michigan. I'm guessing probably OSU and Michigan probably both made it. I don't know. Maybe not if they have who's the guy that they got right now? I can't remember. The guy with the locks. He's not the greatest. We'll see what he does this year. 10-2 Penn State. I was actually talking to somebody about Penn State today. Oklahoma, Michigan. Okay. Man, I'm trying not to go off names. None of these are like super big name except for Alabama schools. I don't know. The three lost teams are kind of already on the back for me. I guess all these teams have 3 losses except for Iowa. Okay, I see what you're trying to do. Except for Iowa and Penn State, all these teams have 3 losses. So, I don't know. SMU and Houston lost in their conference championship game, so that matters to me. That does matter to me. I do think it's kind of bogus how, like, that's why I think the conference championship games need to go away, because you can play in the conference championship game, but thoughts on FCS media polls, keeping this FCS related. Yeah, I do have the FCS media polls. We're getting to FCS after we finish with a few of these. I guess NDSU is FBS, but I got the media polls in the Discord, so I'm gonna get to those in a minute. I'm gonna go with 10-3 SMU and 10-3 Houston. I'm gonna go with 10-3 SMU and 10-3 Houston. Those are my two teams that are getting in. 10-3 SMU, 10-3 Houston. If you don't agree with me, whatever. Okay, let's move on. Let's see if we got anything else in this. Oh, yes, one more FBS topic, and it's Sacramento State. I want to talk about Sacramento State real quick. So say what you want about Sacramento State. I don't know how you guys feel about Sacramento State, but Sacramento State was they just dropped the MAC preseason coaches poll, and Sacramento State is down here. If you can't find them, they're down here at the bottom at 12, right above UMass. And oh my goodness, I don't know what I expect. Excuse me. I don't know if I had high hopes for Sacramento State. Western Michigan, I believe, won the conference last year. They played, can't even remember who they played in the conference championship game. Might have been Miami. But, I mean, they're all the way at the bottom. Sacramento State. So these are one of the G6 football _247. This is one of the reactions I had. And Sacramento State at the bottom is absolutely crazy. And if you look at the quotes, I saw a tweet from Dr. Luke Wood. I don't know if it was in here. We might have to go find his account. But I saw Dr. Luke Wood tweet something about this and basically saying, like, I want to find it. I don't want to misquote it. Let's go find his account. Dr. Luke Wood. He said, I'm sharing this now, so at the end of the season, I can show how we outperform low expectations. Okay, man. Oh, yeah, it was a different tweet that he quoted. Anyway, it's the same thing. They are 12 above UMass. And if you know anything about UMass, I think UMass was defeated last year. I don't think UMass won one game last year. They ranked among the G6 teams who should really be FCS. Man, hey, all I'm going to say is all I'm going to say. Mountain West didn't drop a poll this year, but I'm sure NDSU, if they voted in the Mountain West, and the Mountain West is a significantly better conference than the MAC. Let's just keep it plain and simple. But I'm sure if NDSU, if they did a poll in the Mountain West this year, North Dakota State wouldn't have been any lower than 5, in my opinion. 5 or 6, 5. I mean, 5, man. UNLV, New Mexico, maybe. Definitely UNLV and New Mexico, actually. Maybe a Hawaii. I mean, there's not a lot of teams that you can put above them, man. There's just not. And look at Sac State at 12. Like, I just hope it works out, man. I just hope it works out. I just pray it works out for Sacramento State because, there are going to be a lot of people. The thing, and it sucks and I've talked about this all the time, it sucks for Sacramento State because they put themselves in this position now to where if it doesn't go well, people are waiting. People are waiting to come and talk. People are waiting to come and say something. Somebody said in the chat, the MAC would be one of the better FCS conferences, LOL. UMass would be a middle of the pack FCS team, if I'm being real. Akron probably wouldn't be better. Ball State would be okay. Bowling Green, Kent State, Eastern Michigan. Like, yo, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure, man. Would the MAC be better than the Big Sky? Would the MAC be better than the Mountain West? Would the MAC be better than the UAC? I don't know if I can say they would. I'm not so sure. UMass wouldn't. I don't even know why you're mentioning playoffs and UMass in the same sentence, Zach. Like that. I don't even know why you just said that. You are disrespecting the FCS playoffs by mentioning UMass in the same sentence as the FCS. No, like they wouldn't even sniff the play. They wouldn't even think about the playoffs. They're not even in the same sentence. Like it doesn't even make sense. No, man, they would. This is absolutely crazy. Sac State, well wishes to you. I hope you guys are the best this season. I will be paying attention and I will be talking about it. I will be discussing Sac State maybe not every single week, but we will be talking about Sac State. We'll be talking about NDSU on the channel this year. I want to keep tabs on them, see what's going on. But hey. We'll see what happens. I think that concludes our one more FBS topic, actually. One more thing. Can you guys believe this? The picture's not important. SMU is naming its Future Athletics Recovery Center in honor of a current QB, Kevin Jennings. The Kevin Jennings Recovery Center. Have you guys ever seen anything like this before? A school naming their recovery center after one of their current players? This just seems really crazy to me. This seems absolutely crazy to me. I cannot believe that somebody is getting a performance center name. Like, is he good too? Like, what are his numbers? Kevin Jennings, ESPN. Is he actually nice? Was SMU nice last year? 3,600 passing yards, not bad. 26 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, not great. Let's look at his splits. So the last 2 years, 2024, they went to the playoff, correct? I think they went to the playoff in 2024. The Bobby Hauck recovery. 3,600, 66%, 65%. So he's been at SMU his whole career. I respect that, my boy. I definitely respect that, my boy. He didn't rush as much last year, but in 2024, he rushed for 350 yards. Hey, not bad, man. Not bad. I think they went to the playoff in 24. They did, right? Yeah, they lost to Penn State. They lost to Penn State, and he did not play great. 3 sacks, 3 interceptions. Ill. Hey, I don't know what he did to earn. Like, does who are the guys from when they got the death penalty? Who are those guys? Do those guys have facilities named after them? If any, you guys remember some of the. I mean, you guys know those names, right? What is it? Eric Dickerson? Is it not Eric Dickerson? Did he go to SMU or did he go to OU? Eric Dickerson went to OU, didn't he? No, he went to SMU. Does Eric Dickerson have something named after him at SMU? What's up? What's going on down in the valley? Vaqueros report. Let's go. I actually have we got a ton of FCS topics I want to get into, but I actually had a UTRGV something in here as well. Okay, last thing on the FBS side, and then we're full FCS for the rest of the show tonight. Reporter, how do you keep your players from being satisfied? Texas A&M coach Mike Elko. I show them our trophy case and it's empty. Hey, there's nothing else you need to say, coach. There's nothing else you need to say. You said it all. We have not won anything. You got all that money at A&M. You got all those resources. You got everything you would ever need. But look at that trophy case. It's absolutely empty. It's barren. Dust is compiling in our trophy case. That is all the motivation you need. Now, I think, a little motivational speech goes a long way. You can say, you can do a little bit of motivation. But yes, we are bums. We don't win. We haven't won. That should be the motivation you need in order for you to get the kick in the ass to get things going. Absolutely. I love that, coach. I love that. Okay. FCS time. I do have some, I know we asked for it in the chat. So I have some preseason polls that I want to look at. I also have if Zach is still in the chat, I have the FCS Football Central All-American team that dropped today. I wanted to talk about that as well. If you guys haven't followed the Blue Bloods or FCS Football Central, make sure you guys go follow them and check out their preseason All-American team. They do a phenomenal job at the Blue Bloods. But okay, let's look at the CAA, man. And I actually saw a quote. I can't remember where the quote was at, but I saw a quote about the CAA preseason poll. And somebody was like, it wasn't this post, but it was another post. It might have been Rev, or I can't remember no, it wasn't Reg. It might have been Zach Borg, who's an SDSU guy. But anyway, he basically said, like, looking at this now, like looking at the list of teams now, it makes you realize just how much the CAA has lost. I mean, just look, and I'm not even trying to take a shot at the CAA, but y'all used to be formidable, man. Y'all used to be highly, highly respected in FCS circles. Y'all used to be the standard, man. Y'all used to be the freaking I won't even say maybe the standard, but y'all used to have a ton of quality teams in the CAA, and now it looks bad. It doesn't look great. We got Rhode Island, voted first place. They've won a share of the conference, I believe, the last 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. I know they won it last year. I think in 2024, they also won a share of it, if I'm not mistaken. They're number 1. They should be number 1. To me, they got the best team coming back in the conference. No surprise there. I can't tell if this is coaches or media poll either. It just says preseason poll, but who knows? You got Monmouth at number 2. I'm questionable about Monmouth. Monmouth has unfortunately had a lot going on. They got a new head coach. Derek Robertson's no longer there. The running back's no longer there. They just lost their defensive coordinator. Condolences to him and his family. But there's a lot going on there. But they voted number 2. They got a really good program. I mean, and also too, like, when you look at, I don't even think Monmouth has to be super great to end up number 2 in the conference. They're just not a lot of good teams in the conference. Elon, like, this is a surprise to me. Conference standings. What was the football 2026 football standings? We don't need 2026. We need 2025. We'll get there though. I just want to look at what their standings were last season, because like Where was Elon at? Elon was in the middle. I think they were 6-6 last year. Yeah, 6-6. So I just kind of want to compare it to what they expect this year to what it was last year. New Hampshire was a playoff team last year. They are voted 4th. They were right here at 8-5 last year. So they actually had 3 playoff. It's so crazy how Monmouth ended above, obviously because they had that one extra non-conference win. I think they had a non-D1 win, but they ended up above UNH in the standings because UNH played an extra game, but UNH did beat them in the head-to-head. So, take that into consideration. It's just crazy to me that Monmouth didn't make the playoffs. I will die on that hill. Monmouth should have been in the playoffs last year. Okay, New Hampshire at 4. You got Stony Brook at 5. They were 6-6 last year as well. And basically, it's really like after you get past William and Mary, everybody was 6-6 or worse. Like just a lot of mediocrity in this conference. And you lose William and Mary. You lose 2 of the top 5 teams from last year in this conference. I mean, it's just not a good look, CAA. It's just a terrible, terrible look that you guys are dealing with right now. Stony Brook at 5, Towson at 6. Where was Towson? They were near the bottom, right? Yeah, Towson right here, 6-6 again. They had 4 teams who were 6-6 last year. Maine at 7. Maine was up there, weren't they? Yeah, Maine was right here at 6-6. Campbell at 8. Where were they last year? Campbell was 2-10. My goodness. Bryant, I think they were at the bottom as well. Bryant was 3-9. Yes. Sacred Heart was actually 8-4 last year. So I think Sacred Heart's is a decent addition to the conference. With all things considered, Sacred Heart was actually a decent addition to the CAA. I like that addition. I think that's a good conference. Obviously, they play in the Northeast. They're in New Hampshire, or maybe they're in Connecticut, New Hampshire? I don't know, man. I've never been in the Northeast. I've been to Baltimore. That's it. That is Northeast, but that's the only place I've been in the Northeast. But Sacred Heart, I like that addition. UAlbany has been a good team before, but they have just been scraping the bottom of the barrel. Would mean they end up exactly where they belong. Nice, Remy. North Carolina, A&T, and Hampton, the 2 HBCUs, are sitting at the very bottom, which is not far from where they finished last season. So the CAA, I have no gripes with this. I have absolutely no gripes with this. I like this preseason poll. Some people don't believe in the validity or care about the validity of preseason polls, but I don't really have any gripes with that one. I really, really don't. I really, really don't. Okay, let's get into this CAA poll. CAA poll to me is the CAA, or not the CAA, the UAC. Let's get into this UAC poll. The UAC to me is the 3rd best conference in FCS football. I think that's what I had them at in my rankings. The UAC is a phenomenal conference, man. Absolutely phenomenal. They're small but mighty. Only 8 teams, but I mean, there's a lot of great value in this conference. Abilene Christian, a phenomenal school. Would love to see more playoff success from them. Tarleton State, a phenomenal school. Would also love to see more playoff success from them. Austin Peay, consistently good. West Georgia is up and coming. And West Florida, they're new, but I feel like give them a couple of years, they'll be very formidable in this conference. Central Arkansas historically has been okay. They haven't been great. Eastern Kentucky, not so great. And then North Alabama, not so great. But, I mean, when you only got 3 out of the 8, when you got 5 out of the 8 who are quality teams in the conference, I think that's really, really good for your conference. But Abilene Christian and Tarleton State tied at number 1 with 3 first-place votes each. I think that's fair. And Abilene Christian, obviously, I mean, they have them at number 1. They're both tied, but they have Abilene Christian above. Abilene Christian and Tarleton State tied, shared the conference title last year. Abilene Christian got the automatic qualifying bid because they won the head-to-head matchup. But I wish that would matter in the ultimate standings too, because I don't know if Tarleton State has a trophy or not, but if I was Tarleton State, I would not want that trophy. We lost the only game that really mattered against our rival in Tarleton State, the other purple team outside of North Alabama and Central. I mean, damn, they got 4 purple teams in the conference. Fear the Grimace. Shout out to the Hack City boys. But Abilene Christian and Tarleton State. If I was Tarleton State, I would not want a trophy. And I've always wondered that, how does that work? In the Brawl of the Wild, I've always wondered this. Say Montana, they had a ring ceremony. No way, Zach. Cut it out. Is there a video of that? Can you send that in here right now? They had a ring ceremony? Cut it out. No, we can't. That is not how the game is played, Tarleton State. And you're listening to somebody who never won a conference championship. So maybe if I had won a conference championship, I'm gonna head out. If you're still live later, I might tune in again. See you and have a good night. Appreciate you, Marquise. Thank you for tuning in, brother, and thank you for following on Twitch. That is crazy, man. That is not how the game is played. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. We just cannot do that. What do you mean we're having a ring? And like I was saying, I did not win a conference championship. So maybe that's what I was just about to say. Say Montana State and Montana, you lost by 24 in Bozeman. Oh, he's not talking to me. I lost by more than that, but he's not talking to me. If like say the Brawl of the Wild, so the Brawl of the Wild is played at the end of the season. Last year, I think there was a scenario, maybe not last year. Maybe it was last year, maybe a couple of years, but like there was a scenario where if both teams lost, both teams would end with 7-1, but like, both are technically going to win the conference and only like, what does that losing team do? You just lost the most important game of the season, but hey, you're a conference champion because you shared the title. Now, obviously they're going to get the automatic qualifying bid. You're both going to make the playoffs, but like, what does that mean? What is that like? Damn, a ring ceremony? You're kidding, Zach. You're kidding. Whatever, to each their own. But I think the UAC is going to be very exciting this year. Very, very exciting this year. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I'm so juiced for their conference. Okay, let's look at the SoCon preseason poll. I know I got scattered, like it's not from all the same source, but it's the information that we need to see. That's what it is. Yes, we are live right now. Check us out. Okay, let's go back right here. Okay. The SoCon. I don't have every conference in here. I couldn't find every conference. I don't have every conference, and every conference didn't do. I wanted to look at a Southland poll as well. The Southland didn't do a poll this year. And I think there's another conference that didn't do one. The Big Sky did one, and I gave my thoughts on I've given my thoughts multiple times now on the Big Sky one, so I don't actually, no, that's what I want to do. Actually, so after this, we're going to go over my Big Sky. I'm going to show my poll. I'm going to show how I voted, and we can talk about that. But Mercer at number 6, or at number 1 with 6 first-place votes. Tennessee Tech at number 2 with 3 first-place votes. And East Tennessee State at number 3 with 1 first-place vote. You got Western Carolina, Chattanooga. Mercer should not be one. They lost too many players and their head coach. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't expect a lot from Mercer this year. They do have a good receiver coming back, but, I'm so pro quarterback. Like, what does your quarterback position look like? And we got a ton of good talent at the quarterback position coming back. Now, that is a question mark for me for Tennessee Tech as well. Who does Tennessee Tech have in play quarterback? But I would have put Tennessee Tech at number 1 also, but I do have questions for them in terms of their quarterback talent. Kokoa Vispris wasn't the greatest player, but Kokoa Vispris wasn't the greatest player in the playoffs, but he was a very great player during the regular season. He does not make a ton of mistakes, which unfortunately that's how he went out in the playoffs, is making a ton of mistakes. But throughout his career, he was not a guy who made a ton of mistakes. He was a very accurate quarterback. Richie Munoz, okay, Richie Munoz. Now, imagine this, man. All the Grizz fans in the chat will know the Richie Munoz name because it's actually the weekend of my brother's wedding, but Richie Munoz came to Missoula, and let's actually look this up. Weber State versus Montana. It was in 2024. You guys probably remember this game. It was a shootout. It was OT. Richie Munoz had the freaking game of his career. 19 for 28, 364 yards, 6 touchdowns, 6 passes. I don't think he ever had a game like this ever again in his life. I don't think he ever had a game like this ever again in his life. But if Richie Munoz is the starting quarterback at Tennessee Tech, I feel good about their quarterback position. I feel really good about their quarterback position. This man, let me actually check out his numbers. So he didn't play a ton last year. Man, look at this face. Look at this face. Chubby face. It's okay. 2024. So he didn't even play a snap last year. 1 sack. He didn't throw the ball, so maybe he dropped back. Maybe he got there in trash time. But, Kokoa Vispris is a very, very reliable player. So, I'm sure he wasn't injured a ton. But, in 2024, 60% completion percentage. I like my quarterbacks over 65%, but 60% is okay. 2,500 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. He did take 16 sacks. But these are not bad numbers. These are not bad numbers. And I know they like to run the ball at Tennessee Tech. They got a good run game. I like their chances with Richie Munoz. I like their chances. What was their record this year? What was their record this season? Weber State's record this season. 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 2-3, 3-3, 3-4, 3-5, 3-6, 3-7, 3-8, 4-8. So they were 4-8 this year. So they weren't great. They were not great at all. But I think Richie Munoz played decently well. What was his completion percentage against Montana that year? 68%, of course. His third best completion percentage that season was against Montana. He played pretty well. He had good completion percentage against Lamar that year. They lost. And then he had good completion percentage against Cal Poly. They won. But he did not have it. Like I said, it was his best game of his career. I mean, I don't think he's played like that since. Let's go back to 2023. I don't think Richie Munoz has had a game like that, but he played. I mean, it's the Wa Grizz effect. If you guys have ever heard me talk about the Washington Grizzly effect, it's the Washington Grizzly effect, man. Like, guys get in this stadium and they just, I don't know, some weird aura comes over them. Like it happened to Jake Skockle last year. It happened to, it happens to everybody. Everybody comes into Wa Grizz. It's like, I'm trying to think if I could equate it to anything. I don't know, but everybody comes into Missoula and wants to play their best game. Let's go to Eastern Washington versus Montana in 2025 football. This is a game where Jake Skockle fumbled to finish the game. Jake Skockle threw 46 for 63, 451 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, this dude had the game of his freaking life. Threw for 68% completion percentage. Just had a phenomenal game. Did take 8 sacks, but that doesn't matter. They were literally a fumbled snap away from winning this game. I mean, guys come into Washington Grizzly and just go crazy. Now, I'm really big on Jake Skockle. If you guys have followed the channel, I'm huge on Jake Skockle. I think he's going to be a great player. But is this the play that, man, I mean, I don't want to get copy. Oh, this is Script Sports, so there's no copyright on Script Sports. But I mean, just imagine losing a game this way. The fumbled snap, man, cannot happen, Jake. We can't have it. Clock runs out. That's ball game, brother. That's ball game. But they were in a perfect position. It would have been 4th down, so they would only have 1 play, no timeouts. But they had a chance, man. They had a chance. That's tough. That's tough. As a freshman, too, my heart breaks for him. But back to this preseason poll. Tennessee Tech at 2, ETSU at 3, Western Carolina at 4, Chattanooga at 5, Furman at 6, Wofford at 7, Sanford at 8, Citadel at 9, VMI at 10. Now the bottom, I feel like they got the bottom right. Wofford, I know Wofford was pretty decent last year, weren't they? Let's actually go to the SoCon football standings. Excuse me, my goodness, that was disgusting. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for that. Oh my gosh. So Mercer won the conference last year. Western Carolina was number 2 in the conference. ETSU was 3 in the conference. Wofford was 4. Yeah, I thought Wofford was pretty good last year. Wofford must have lost some decent talent for them to be voted all the way down to 7. I mean, dang, Furman is Furman going to be okay this year? Is Furman even good? Furman, where were they at? 4-4 overall record. Was over 6-6 last year? So they had the same record as Wofford. There was really only 3 teams in the conference last year. I know it was decently competitive. I think actually Mercer got in a shootout with Furman, or maybe not a shootout, but they were in a dogfight. No, Mercer got in a shootout with West Carolina. Either way, I don't know how I feel about Mercer at 1. I think Tennessee Tech should certainly be at 1. ETSU should be at 2. At 2. Mercer, dare I say, should go down to like 5. Like all of 3 of these teams should move up a slot, and then Mercer, I guess that would put Mercer at 4, maybe even Chattanooga above them. But I feel like Mercer should be at 4 or 5. Like them at 1 is no go. Them at 1 is not good at all. So those are my thoughts on that poll. The SoCon. Here, let me pull up my preseason Big Sky poll. I'll pull up my preseason Big Sky poll for you guys. You guys can see how your boy voted. This is my 2nd year now voting in the Big Sky preseason poll, and you guys can see how I voted. Obviously, Montana State at 1, Montana at 2. Now, I actually do feel kind of conflicted about this pick because I should have put UC Davis at 2, and I'm gonna be transparent right now. I should have put UC Davis at 2. Montana should have been 3 in my poll, and I feel a way about that. You guys might not care. I feel a way about that. It probably wouldn't have changed much because it's only a 1-point difference there. Montana probably, vast majority of people probably still put Montana at 2. But if you just think about the makeup of the Big Sky Conference, the makeup of the schedule this year, UC Davis does not play Montana State. So UC Davis could end up with a higher in the standings at the end of the season than Montana, simply based off the fact that they didn't play Montana State. Like UC Davis could end up tied for 1, just simply based off the fact that they don't play Montana State and they could both share the conference title. Like for that reason alone, UC Davis should have been number 2 in my poll. So put my hands up right now and say I missed on that and I should have been better about that. And I apologize to anybody. It doesn't make a huge difference. A lot of people don't even care about preseason polls, but that's where things should have been a little bit different. Then you got Idaho State at 4. I like that pick at Idaho State. I battled with this one for a minute. I know they flip-flopped in either of the coaches polls and the media poll at 4 and 5. But I like Idaho State, man. Like I've talked about Idaho State a ton. I like Idaho State at 4. No, I don't think NAU at 3 or 4. I think NAU at 5 is good. And I think the top 3 are locked. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, we can argue about 4 and 5. We can argue about maybe, I guess you said NAU 3 or 4, maybe NAU at 4. Like, I'd welcome an argument for NAU at 4, but the 3 definitely not. Montana State, Montana, and UC Davis are locked in the top 3. If it doesn't end up that way, then some serious chaos has happened in the conference, in my opinion. But I like them at the top 3. You got Southern Utah at 6. I like Southern Utah at 6, man. Like, I don't know, maybe, and I think, that's where they were. They were like 6 or 7, so I think they're getting a lot of respect in the polls as well. I think Southern Utah seems to be garnering a decent amount of respect in the polls as well. So I like them there. Idaho at 7. It kind of came down to the point to where, like, I respect Idaho enough not to throw them below any of these teams. Like, I genuinely do think these teams will be worse than Idaho, but also, like, I think I would have been very well justified in putting Idaho below any of these teams. Like, I would have been very well justified in doing that because they were 4-8 last year. I don't think they made huge wholesale roster changes. I think they brought in a few receivers. At least that's what we were told from their quarterback, is that they brought in some new receivers. So we'll see about that. That was a huge issue for me, is the receivers. But I respect Idaho enough not to put them any below any of these teams, but Cal Poly is kind of the wild card here. Cal Poly could really certainly shock some people. Now offensively, I don't know, and that's the problem with Cal Poly, is offensively they just are not working with anything right now. So we will see about Cal Poly, but they could be the wild card here. How does Eric Kira deal with Weber State? We'll see about that. But then the bottom 4, I mean, Utah Tech is just the default. Portland State used to be the default bottom team. Then you add Utah Tech, so Utah Tech becomes that. But man, they've actually got a beautiful campus, Utah Tech does. But Eastern Washington at 10, I mean, I like the rest of it. I do feel bad about this pick right here, though. In all fairness to UC Davis, I should have put UC Davis at 2. So put my hands up and say I missed there. I certainly missed there. But what do you guys feel about my poll? Pretty solid, right? Pretty solid for a new media guy. Pretty solid. Anyway, okay. Let's go down here. What do we got in here? What do we got? Okay, actually, we got a couple of quotes in here. We got a couple of quotes I want to get to here. Okay, next we're going to get into the FCS Football Central All-America team. The FCS football, I agree, Ron. I agree. Cody Hawkins is going to get a job somewhere. So this is Zach McKinnell of FCS Football Central. You can see the author name here if you guys see him in the chat. He's been in the chat tonight. But they dropped this, and they do a phenomenal job. Preseason All-American team. I don't know if any other publications have done an All-American team, so you guys can let me know in the chat if they did. I don't think any other teams, any other publication dropped an All-American team. But let's see what you got. So, in all fairness to everybody watching this is my first time opening up this. I put it in the thing. I was like, hey, I'm gonna react to it live on my stream tonight. So I'm not gonna open it up. But Bo Brungard at first team off. I would want to know one question I did have: how many people at FCS Football Central vote in this? I know you guys got. I know it's obviously you and Tim. Who else is at FCS Football Central who votes in this? That was one question I had. You don't have to let it know in the chat. If you want to text me on the side, you can. Anyway, 2 QBs, Bo Brungard, Justin Lamson at quarterback. No arguments there from me. Eli Gilman at running back, Adam Jones at running back, Luke Yoder at running back. I love that. Those are the guys. These 3 guys at running back, these are the guys in FCS right now. I think Jordan Fisher potentially can get up there, but he's got more time to make another name for himself. These are the guys who have done it consistently over multiple seasons. No problem with that. Marquise Buchanan, Sammy Batu, Taco Dowler. No argument there. Ryder Kurtz, absolutely. So this is where it becomes a little questionable for me. Eric Gray, I think I saw his name on some top players list previous to this, but me and Coulter actually just talked about this on Inside the FCS. I think that went live today. But just kind of figuring out some of the offensive linemen in the FCS is sometimes difficult for me. Like, I really got to get on PFF to kind of find who are the top. Like, I know Titan Fleischman, I know Quentin Christensen, I know Stryker Rashid from Idaho State, I know Jack Zybal from Northern Colorado, but a lot of the guys I know are because I cover the Big Sky Conference closely. Some of these guys like Desmial Lee from Youngstown State, Eric Gray, like I didn't know some of these guys. So I put my hands up right now and let you know that like I didn't know about some of these guys as well. Joshua Sales Jr., Austin P., Landon Woodard. But I'll take your word for it. I'll take you guys' word at Football Central. These are the guys, first team. So first team defense, Joshua Stone King. Hey, man, I won't say he got robbed last year because he didn't. I think Andrew Zock was deserving. But I think Joshua Stone King is coming to dominate everything this year. Absolutely coming to dominate everything this year. Him, Lance Rucker, who's right below him, But Joshua Stone King, his numbers are absolutely ridiculous. I have them over here in my notes. Joshua Stone King's numbers last year. No, wrong. We're right here. Joshua Stone King's numbers last year were absolutely freaking ridiculous. Listen to this real quick. I had Joshua Stone King. I dropped my top 25 players coming into the 26th season. I had Joshua Stone King at 5 in my rankings. He's the number 1 rated defensive player by my standings in the FCS. He's a phenomenal player, and he was a redshirt sophomore last year. I'm surprised he's still at Furman right now. This dude certainly could have garnered a ton of money at the FBS level. Credit to him for sticking at Furman. Like, absolutely phenomenal job. 79 total tackles, 42 solo, 23 TFLs, 23 TFLs. That boy was living in the backfield. 14 and a half sacks, 2 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 block. Listen to this number of accolades just in the 2025 season. 2025 Buck Buchanan Award runner-up, 2025 FCS ADA National Defensive Player of the Year, 2025 FCS ADA All-America First Team, 2025 Walter Camp Foundation All-America, 2025 Stats Perform All-America, 2025 AFCA All-America First. These are all first team, by the way. 2025 AP All-America First Team, 2025 Football Central All-America First Team, 2025 Phil Steele All-America, 2025 All-Southern Conference First Team. I mean, this dude is a freaking freak. You talk about Niekamp could have been a Grizzly. Oh, Niekamp, yeah, man, he could have. You didn't spell his last name right, but yes, Ty Niekamp certainly could have been a Grizzly if Coach Niekamp would have stuck around in Montana. But Ty Niekamp was 6 on my list. Ty Niekamp was certainly 6 on my list, and I'm guessing he's a first-team guy on here as well. He is a first-team guy. So back to the All-America team at FCS Football Central. You got Michael Wells, who I've heard about. I need to do a little bit more research into him, and Camden Bird. But Andrew Huff, he was an honorable mention on my list. I don't think he made my top 25, but I had his name and I had his stats written down. He probably would have been like top 30, top 40 on my list. Ty Niekamp, 160 tackles last year, defendant MVFC Defensive Player of the Year, absolutely phenomenal. Peyton Wing flies around east to west. He really is good in coverage, Peyton Wing is, but he makes a ton of tackles. He's involved in a ton of tackles. Porter Connors as well. Did not play last year a ton, but you go back to his 2024 numbers, Porter Connors is a phenomenal player. Rohan Davey had a really good season last year as well. I mean, these linebackers, phenomenal. Mikey Diamato. I mean, this is just like a phenomenal class of linebackers at the FCS level. And maybe I didn't notice this because I didn't cover the FCS when I was in the game and all these things, but like, there's a lot of good talent. You look at there's a lot of good talent in the FCS scattered around. Ty Niekamp playing in the MVFC, Peyton Wing playing in the Big Sky, Porter Connors in the Big Sky, Rohan Davey in the CAA, Mikey Diamato in the Big Sky, Jake Dalmato playing in the Southland. Abu Kamara, very high on him, great player. Caden Dowler, obviously know what he brings to the table, great player. Rex Connors, once again, did not play last year. Go back to his 2024 numbers. He probably would have won Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Sky Conference had he been healthy last year. And that's no shot at Caden Dowler as well, because Caden Dowler had a phenomenal season. Damian Henderson from Harvard, another good player. Christopher Jean, I think that's a corner. Ken Moore at West Carolina, and Dylan Rousey. Man, Dylan Rousey, phenomenal player as well. He was also on my list. I had his numbers written down. He probably would have been top 30, top 40, somewhere in there. He didn't make the top 25, though. Jabril Mace, all-purpose player. He's a kick returner. I like him. I like Jabril Mace a lot. Jabril Mace, you can be confused looking at Jabril Mace's numbers. Jabril Mace made a ton of All-American teams after the season last year, but don't get confused looking at Jabril Mace's numbers. He shared the backfield with 2 other backs last year. Don't look at the numbers. You got to turn on the film. You got to look at him on the TV copy, whatever you see. Watch his game. He's a phenomenal player. I don't know any of these specialists. I'm no offense to any of these guys. Second team, Kelly Ayat, Devin Farrell, and Chris Parson. Another good 3 batch of quarterbacks. Can't really argue with that. Were there only 2 on the first team? Just Bo Brungard and Justin Limps? Absolutely. 3 on the second team. Absolutely not bad. I can't argue with this. I mean, these are the best quarterbacks. I can't even really think maybe a Ty Pennington is maybe another quarterback I would add in there, but I don't know if I would put him above any of these guys. Maybe, I don't know. I like this. Charles Pierre, once again, don't look at the 2025 numbers. He got hurt. 2024, one of the best running backs in the FCS. Victor Dawson, we all saw what he did in the playoffs last year. And my boy Jordan Fisher, who I just spoke about earlier, another running back. Sam Milligan, I didn't know about him during the season. I became aware of him during the offseason. Really good receiver at Bucknell. Obviously, Bucknell's not good in the Patriot League Conference, but he is a good player. He's a taller guy as well. I think he's going to garner some NFL attention. The Patriot League puts out receivers. We all saw Jalen Coker just sign a 3-year deal with the Panthers after having a good season. Maybe that was his sophomore season. I mean, hey, it doesn't matter where you're from. They will find you. BJ Fleming Excited about him. He's going to bring a lot of excitement to that Tarleton State offense. They need weapons. They lost a lot of talent last year. Lofton Ogroski, another guy. His 2024 numbers aren't that stellar, but if you know ball and you've paid attention to the ball, you understand what Lofton Ogroski brings to the table. Phenomenal player. His numbers weren't stellar last year, but he also dealt with an injury. I'm honestly not gonna lie. I'm surprised to see Brooks Davis on here. I'm not surprised that you put him on here. Like, he's deserving of being on here, but I'm just surprised to see him. Like, hey, Brooks Davis on here from Montana, obviously a phenomenal player. Everybody knows what he can do. It's a big year for him. He's that number one guy now. And Chaden James, and once again, a guy, even Chaden James, I would say you don't even look at his last 2 seasons. Go back to 2023 for Chaden James. That's when he had his really good season. He's a good player as well, and he's back with his offensive coordinator. If you go look at his numbers, his best season in his college career was with Cody Hawkins as the head coach at Idaho State. He's now back. I expect big things from him. Winston Williams, great tight end at UC Davis. Striker Rashid, know that boy, know his name. But some of these other names, I'm not even going to lie. I don't know some of these guys. Braden Zimmer, obviously I know him. Was a freshman last year. Is coming up this year. Is going to be phenomenal. He's going to have a really good career if he stays. Even if they even hold on to him, I hope they do. I'm not wishing anything that he leaves, but phenomenal player. Defense, Caden Vig, North Dakota. Zach Cruz, Montana State. Obviously understand what he brings to the table. Dawson Ruperta, Chris Dixon. Where are some of these? Okay, I was just about to say, where are some of these South Dakota State guys? You got Cole Taylor, phenomenal player. He just cracked. He was like just outside of my top 25. He had a really good season. And I asked Coach Vegan in the press conference leading up to the national championship game, who are some of those players? To make a national championship. Well, he said this. He said to make a national championship, you have to have players who you don't expect step up to step up. And he told me Cole Taylor was one of those guys. Neil Daly dealt with an injury last year, and he was in and out of the lineup. And Cole Taylor was a player who stepped up and just played phenomenal for them last year. He is a really, really good player. He's going to have a phenomenal career, man. Colin McShane, okay. I feel like a lot of people aren't as high on Joe Ullman as I am. I feel like Joe Ullman, dare I say, may be better than Colin McShane. I think the numbers are very similar. Maybe, dare I say, even Joe Ullman's numbers were a little better. Colin McShane was the all-conference guy in the Missouri Valley last year. But I think Joe Ullman actually wasn't even expected to play a lot last year. I think injuries is what gave him his look, if I'm not mistaken. But both are really, really good players. You can't go wrong with either. And both of them are a big reason why I think South Dakota State's going to be really, really good on the defensive end this year. 2 stellar linebackers who can play east to west, who play downhill, make tackles, make plays in the backfield. I mean, really good players that are going to make a big impact. Hear me right now. If that South Dakota State team stays healthy, everybody else should be on the lookout. I mean, if they can stay healthy, it's going to be trouble for everybody else. I promise you that. Jordan Franklin, Dexter Niekamp. Okay, Niekamp brother on here as a linebacker on the second team. I like that. Can't remember what number. What number does he wear? Niekamp the big brother wears 46. What is he, like 13 or something like that? I can't remember. Eli Ennis, Sean Line, Tatum Gray from Montana State, Eric Zachary from Prairie View A&M. He also made my list. Somebody who I was looking at, Jalen Jenkins from Eastern Washington. I mean, Drew Cofield from UC Davis. There is some good defensive back talent in the FCS. Dylan Williams, somebody I looked at earlier in this offseason as well. Really good talent in the FCS. Eric Zachary, though, good player. Really, both of these guys. I mean, man, talented. So there's only 2 teams. But hey, I don't really have any gripes. Braden Smith, the receiver from Mercer, that's the guy who, some of the returning talent. I know Troy wanted Andrew Body to be in here, and I'm very high on Andrew Body as well. But I don't know if I would put Andrew Body in over any of that. Well, actually, I probably would. I'm not going to lie. I probably would put Andrew Body over Devin Farrell and over Chris Parson. The numbers aren't the same. The numbers are not as good, but only 1 interception, 20 touchdowns, only like 1,700 passing yards, but a ton on the ground, like 500 rushing yards on the ground, a ton of rushing touchdowns. And it's just a smaller sample size. He didn't play as many games. But Andrew Body, make no mistake about it, is a phenomenal player. I probably would have put him over Devin Farrell and Chris Parson. The other 3 quarterbacks you got above him, my thought is Bo Brungard, Justin Lamson, Callie Ayotte, no matter what order you put them in, are the top 3 quarterbacks in FCS football. Outside of that, I like Andrew. I mean, Andrew Body's in the top 10. I don't know where you put him at. Where did I have him in my top 25 players? I think I had Andrew Body in my top 10. Yeah, Andrew Body was 9, which made Andrew Body my third best quarterback in FCS football behind Lamson, Ayat, and Bo Brungard. I had Andrew Body at number 9 in the top 10. So I'm very high on Andrew Body, similar to Troy, Zach, to be honest with you. But this is FCS Football Central, so I don't really have any gripes. It's a great list. I think Andrew Body's really good, though. I want to look now. Devin Farrell was at 14. Chris Parson was at 17 for me. And then all the way down at number 24 was Ty Pennington for me. But, hey, phenomenal list, man. Good job for the boys at FCS Football Central. Make sure you guys go check that out. And make sure you guys go follow them on socials. FCS Football Central on social media. Zach McKinnell on all socials. You guys can find them. Go follow them. They cover the FCS greatly at a great pace. They do a phenomenal job. Okay. What else did I have for us tonight? I had a couple of Vaquero videos in here as well that I wanted to look at, but I wanted to look at this Chris Parson quote first. So to be honest with you guys, I wasn't even aware of Chris Parson last season. I obviously knew Austin P was decently good last year, but I wasn't even super aware. Why is the chat not working? Are we getting chats? Hold up. Somebody send something in the chat. I'm not seeing any chats right now. Yeah, so my YouTube chat absolutely stalled out in here. Are we still in the chat? Is the chat still working? Okay, yeah, we are. I'm not seeing the chat on here, though. I might have to... No. This is old. Okay, I need to refresh this. This is way old. Okay, definitely hated leaving Body and Pennington off. This FCS QB class is loaded. No, absolutely. The FCS QB class, something. Okay. Yeah, the chat's working. You guys are just paying attention. I appreciate you guys. Sometimes a little affirmation works in the chat too, though. Yeah, I get it. I get it, Zach. It's tough. And, that's the thing too, is like people get on your head about these things, but it's hard, man. Like it's hard doing these. It's hard making these lists. What's up, Justin? It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's difficult. Like there's a lot of good talent and it's a good problem to have. I like the fact that it's a really good problem we have in the FCS. There's a ton of good talent at the FCS, a ton of good players. And the fact that you have to leave a good player off to put other good players on, it may not be great for them. Maybe they wanted to see their son be on there, but it's still phenomenal. It's still absolutely phenomenal. The amount of talent we got in the FCS. And I'm just so excited, man. I'm just so excited. We got like a month until the season. I just cannot wait, man. Anyway, okay, we had this Chris Parson quote put up. I did not know about Chris Parson last year, man. I absolutely did not. I was not aware of his game. I was not aware of who he was. I just was unaware. I just absolutely was unaware. And then I did my quarterback rankings, and a lot of people started getting on me about how low I had Chris Parson. But like, man, before we started doing the quarterback rankings in the offseason, like I didn't even know about him, man. But this quote is pretty cool. The quote that he had here, just curious what your dark horse playoff team is this year, like surprise team to make a run. Ooh, so before we get into this Chris Parson quote, let me answer this. Dark horse playoff team, a dark horse team to make a run. Dark horse means like they're really, really not expected to make a run, but I think they could make like an Illinois State, maybe not an Illinois State run. Let's say like Villanova. Maybe they get to the semis or the quarters. Dark horse playoff team. Let me think of the teams with really good quarterback play. Man, I so wish Alabama State would be in the FCS playoffs, man. I so wish. I'm going to say Austin P. And that's not just because, maybe it's just because I'm looking at them, but I feel like Austin P is a team that could sneak up. They got voted third in the UAC preseason poll. And like, I feel like there's somebody who could sneak up and shock a lot of people in the FCS. I feel like they could really sneak up and make some noise in the FCS. I'm going to go with Austin P. But my honorable mention on that as a dark horse team that can make a playoff run is going to be Youngstown State. I don't know, man. Like, I really feel like if Bo Brungard had... Now, I'm not letting Bo Brungard off the hook. They only put up one touchdown in the second half. I've said it all off season. Like, I'm not happy about that. If you're the Walter Payton Award winner, you should put up more than 7 points in the second half. But we have to... The defense has to hold some culpability as well. Like, if he had a competent defense that could get even 4 stops in that second half, 3 or 4 stops in that second half, they go on to the next round. And I'm saying this just because I wanted to see Bo Brungard against Montana State. Like, that would have... Can you guys imagine Bo Brungard? Now, Yale gave Montana State a great battle, but Bo Brungard and Bozeman, with his ability, you got Tommy Malott light. Now, he throws the ball better than Tommy Malott. No offense to Tommy Malott. Bo Brungard throws the ball better than him. Could you guys imagine Tommy Malott 2.0 or Tommy Malott 3.0, whatever you want to call him? Bo Brungard. We're not going to call him Tommy Malott. He's Bo Brungard. Bo Brungard versus Montana State after you guys just had a player very, very similar to Bo Brungard playing for you guys. Now you guys got a game plan against that. Man, oh my gosh. We were robbed. We were robbed. Great game. It was a great game between Yale and Youngstown State, but we were robbed of a phenomenal matchup of Bo Brungard versus that Youngstown State defense, or versus that Montana State defense. Okay, let's look at this Chris Parson quote. See what he had to say.
Why play for Coach Ferris, or why stay in Clarksville? Why play for Coach Ferris and give this one last go?
Yes, ma'am. Well, first I want to start off by just expressing how grateful I am to be able to represent my teammates, our university, and our football team here at Media Day. But it was an easy.
Man, I will say this. Sorry to cut the quote off real quick. I love how some of these teams go. I thought YSU would give Bozeman all they could handle and then some. I agree. Man, I love how some of these teams go to the media days and are very buttoned up in suits. I don't know if all the teams do that at the Big Sky Media Day. Some teams do it, but I love this. I absolutely love this. I never got to go to Big Sky Media Day, unfortunately, but I do like how some of these teams go and they make their players dress up in suits and stuff. I think that's really cool.
Decision for me. I never say that I came back. I always say that I never left. For me, just my love for my teammates, the relationships that I've built since I've been at Austin Peay. It's something I'm extremely thankful for, and then also just development. I love learning from Coach Ferris, Coach Billerman, and Coach Spurrier, and I've seen my game take tremendous strides since I've been at Austin Peay. And for me, my goal and aspiration is to be in the NFL, to be an NFL quarterback. And so I truly believe that learning from them, finding ways to continue to keep getting better, that this is the right place for me. And I'm extremely happy with my decision. I love being at Austin Peay, and this is truly home for me.
Man, now I don't remember a lot about Chris Parson from last season because I didn't, in all fairness to them, I didn't watch a ton of Austin Peay last year. But I will say, one play that stands out to me, I think it was them against Tarleton, and they had a chance to beat Tarleton State on the last play of the game. And Chris Parson, I mean, the completion percentage, 63.2% completion percentage, 3,000 passing yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions, really good number, 743 yards on the ground with 14 touchdowns. I mean, he had a phenomenal season. But it's the little things, and that's why DJ Williams isn't high on my list either. Like, DJ Williams is a phenomenal player, but they're just things that I noticed from him when I didn't watch a ton of DJ Williams last year either, but I watched their game against South Dakota, and I remember DJ Williams in OT, he missed throws. They lost that game. They could have won that game had DJ Williams showed up. Same with Chris Parson. Phenomenal player, good numbers, everything checks out. But you in crunch time does not check out for me. Say what you want about Ayat against the Grizz or whatever you want. That's my one knock against Bo Brungard. We haven't seen Bo Brungard really win in like crunch time situations. He had an opportunity again that Yale game to make plays in the crunch time situations, but Bo Brungard's numbers are just absolutely ridiculous. That's why he's so high. Justin Lamson made all the plays in crunch time to be a great quarterback. Ayat, North Dakota, go back to that North Dakota game. Early on in Ayat's career as a starter, he made plays in the game to win. Go back to Ayat against Indiana. Ayat made a game-winning throw against North Dakota. Move on to the game against Idaho State. Idaho State was giving them everything they could handle in the dome. Ayat made throws in that game to win them that game. I mean, that's what matters to me with some of these top quarterbacks at the FCS level. What are you making when the game is won in the margins? Are you making those little plays? And to finish my point about Chris Parson, it was the end of the game, them against Tarleton State. I'm actually going to look up those stats from that game. I'm going to look up APU versus Tarleton State. And I'm pretty sure it was a close game, and I'm pretty sure they could have won it on the last play if I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure Chris Parson missed a guy in the flats late in that game. I'm actually going to YouTube right now. I'm going to go to YouTube right now and look up these highlights from Austin Peay versus Tarleton State because I'm almost certain that it's going to come back to me. I'm going to see the play, and I'll share my screen as well, but I remember him missing that play. Okay, here we go. We got the highlights pulled up right here. Let's go to the end right here. Is that it?
Has hit. They're ready to go back.
Yes. Okay. Here we go right here. Last play of the game. This is Chris Parson with an opportunity to win the game. They're down by 1 in OT. You got to go for 2 points. This must have been the second OT. No, this must have been the first OT. They just decided to go for 2. So Tarleton kicked the field goal. They said they're on the road. You don't want to chance it on the road. You know, they have all the momentum, all that stuff. Let's win it right now. If we can win it right now, let's try to win it right now. I'm not mad. The play is absolutely perfect. The guy is, they're going to bring him in motion. They're bringing him in motion. Send him into the flats.
Trying to win it too.
Watch it.
Parson,
Rub play. Rub him.
Parson,
Probably offensive passing. He just missed it. What are we doing? What can't happen? Can't happen. Chris Parson is a phenomenal player. He's a great quarterback. He's one of the best in the FCS. He's for surely top 10 in the FCS. He's a great player. This, my friend, and I'm going to mute the sound. We just got to play the clip. This cannot happen. You hit this. If you're one of the best quarterbacks in FCS football, you hit this. So refer to this whenever those fans from Austin Peay or from the UAC were getting on me about my quarterback rankings and say, oh, Chris Parsons too low, Chris Parsons this. This matters to me. And don't make me pull up the DJ Williams. We're not on DJ Williams right now. We're on Chris Parson. And the quote was phenomenal. Hey, I'm glad you stayed. I'm sure you had a ton of offers to go somewhere else. But this matters, brother. You have to make the easy plays. You win this game. This is a huge win. You guys get in the playoffs if you win this game. This is the last game of the season. Is it 11? This is the last. Bro, you guys, this play is literally the difference from Austin Peay getting into the playoffs and not. Do you guys understand that? Are we all clear with that? This is literally the difference from Austin Peay getting in the playoffs and not getting in the playoffs. This missed throw right here. And hindsight's 2020. We know this now. You didn't get in the playoffs. You were on the outside looking in at 7-5. You're 8-4 with this win. You have a very high quality ranked win with this win. This gets you 8-4 with a win against Tarleton State, gets you into the playoffs unequivocally. You are in the playoffs. I mean, this matters. And that's why I don't just look at numbers when I do my quarterback rankings. I can't. The wins, and like I said, all fairness to Chris Parson, I did not watch a lot of Chris Parson football last year. I did not watch a lot of Austin Peay football last year. I did see this game. I remember this because I tweeted after the game. I was like, what are we? This is an absolute layup. Coach drew it up perfectly. They ran it to perfection. Good rub, maybe OPI. They probably would have been justified in the flag. I'm so glad the refs didn't throw the flag. Give him an opportunity to fuck it up. And he did. What? I don't even know how, genuinely, I'm not even trying to be harsh on this dude. This is a college kid. I'm not trying to be harsh. I don't know how you missed this so bad, bro. I genuinely don't. And I'm not a quarterback. I would have missed this throw too. I'm going to be very honest with you. I would have missed this. But, bro, this stuff matters. It matters. Luckily, he was a first-year starter and only a sophomore. Dang, he's only a sophomore? Really? I think he'll learn from it, honestly. Definitely a massive mistake from a young player. He's only a sophomore? Damn, okay. It said, the only reason I'm questioning that is because it said in the thing, I think it said in that video, I think it said he was a senior, didn't it? Oh, he's a junior. Okay, no. He's a young guy. You aren't being harsh, and you wouldn't have missed that throw. No, Remy, I don't think you know. My arm's not like that. But so to finish off that point, that is the things that I take into consideration when I'm looking at quarterbacks. Absolutely, he's going to learn from that. Same, I'll say the same about the dude from North Dakota. What's my guy's name? Somebody help me on the chat. North Dakota. But he's another guy who started off the season really hot. People were talking about him as the potential Walter Payton Award winner. Maybe not. And then literally he tapered off and he just wasn't the same player. But he's a young guy. The season is long. You got to show up week in and week out. Ayat's a phenomenal player. Ayat threw 9 interceptions last year. That is too much. So all of these quarterbacks you look at, Jerry Kaminsky, absolutely. A good player, young, has to learn. But Ayat is another player. All these guys, and that's the crazy. Jared Kaminsky was a sophomore last year. Chris Parson was a sophomore last year. Ayat was a sophomore last year. All of them had good years. All of them played good ball, but there's still a learning curve to be learned. So I 100% agree, Zach. He's a young guy and he's going to learn. But man, that was a little egregious for me. Man, and I know he knows that. I'm not saying anything that he doesn't know. But looking at that, just watching it back, it's man, and thinking about the hindsight of knowing that would have got you into the playoffs. Bro, that would have been it. You would have been in. And who knows? Once you get in the playoffs, you're 0-0. We saw North Dakota State lose to Illinois State. Illinois State ended up going to the national championship, was a play away from winning the national championship. Anything can happen. So just learn from it, be better. But I know a lot of people are really high on Chris Parson. I've become more high on him as the offseason has gone. All 3 first-year starters, big learning curve. Absolutely. I know Ayat was a first-year starter. I'm almost certain Chris Parson was a first-year starter. I didn't see him in 2024. And Jerry Kaminsky was a first-year starter. He was behind Romfo the year before. So, man, a lot to learn, but I know he can learn. I know he can get better. I know he can improve. Man, that stuff. Watching that back just got me, man. That was crazy. That was crazy, man. That was actually really crazy that he missed that throw. I can't believe that. Okay, a couple more things here. We've been on here for 2 hours. I thank you guys for hanging out for me. We've had more than 10 people in the chat for the most part throughout this whole live. So we got 12 viewers on here right now on YouTube. And we got 1 viewer on TikTok. So thank you everybody for viewing the stream. I'm almost done here. But I wanted to look at this. So I was actually really surprised by this. Did I already click on it? No. I was actually really surprised by this, man. So dude was too, man, way too wide open, Remy. I did not know. We don't have to watch this whole video. I didn't know they had palm trees in Utah. Like I just didn't know they had palm trees in Utah. Look at this.
In the heart of St. George, you'll find Utah Tech University.
They got palm trees in Utah, in St. George. Yo. They need to build some palm trees in Montana.
1911 as a 2-year junior college, it's become one of Utah's most scenic.
Anyway, that's the only thing I cared about with that video. I don't really care about none of this. But like, yo, they got palm trees in Utah. Who knew that? I know we don't know final depth charts for the teams yet, but is there a freshman that is on your radar that we should keep an eye on this season? The only one I really like, that's the thing. I don't know about a ton of freshmen across the country. But if I would say one, Legend Lyons at Montana. Now, I don't know if he'll play a ton, but if he does, if he does get an opportunity, Legend Lyons is somebody I would say to be on the lookout for. Legend Lyons is somebody to be on the lookout for. Now, I'm playing this UTRGV video from the Down in the Valley boys because I'm very interested in the quarterback position battle at UTRGV. I'm interested. I know Mestamaker was not Mestamaker, but Malberger. Is it Malberger? What was it? Lee Malberger. He was really good last year. And somebody's gonna have to fill his shoes. He's most prolific quarterback in UTRGV football history. Their short history, but they were talking about it on Down in the Valley. Make sure you guys go give the Down in the Valley boys a follow. This is their social media. They've only had this page for like a year. July 2025 is when they built this page. They already got over 3,000 followers, so they do a phenomenal job. UTRGV is really building a phenomenal program down there, and these guys are doing a phenomenal job covering them. I'm going to be doing some work with them this season as well, so go give them a follow if you guys are watching right now. But listen to them talk about the quarterback battle at UTRGV.
For our team, what's the elephant in the room for our team?
Quarterback. Running
quarterback
back.
One.
Yeah.
That's the biggest position. We got 2 guys that can run the offense. Now, Jacobson was a backup last year, right? He's developing. He's putting in the work to get there. Rangel is a big-time transfer, big-time talent.
Yeah.
Right? So he has 2 options there. Now, I said it before. If it's a quarterback battle up to week 1, and we're shuffling quarterbacks week 1 before UTSA, and
that's
we
not
don't
good.
have the guy, that's not great.
No.
What do you think?
No, I agree. That's not a good look for the offense. I mean, you've got to be able to get first team reps with whoever's going to be QB1. I mean, if they're not getting every single rep in practice, then you're just not prepared the way that you should be.
Both get reps and they do a dual quarterback system. What are you against that?
I don't know. I haven't seen them. So I guess if they're both elite or elite for FCS level, then I'd say that's okay. But I for a quarterback, my immediate answer is going to be no. I wouldn't want a 2 quarterback room.
Stay away from the 2
or starting.
quarterbacks.
I wouldn't want a 2 quarterback starting job.
Where has it worked?
Sexton.
I don't know.
It hasn't.
Yeah.
it's good in theory.
Being honest, hey, I don't love it either, but we cannot ignore the fact that Sac State won a couple of conference championships while running the 2 quarterback system. Now I agree. I wouldn't want to lean on a 2 quarterback system either. I'm probably going to get copyright struck for that sound. Maybe not on TikTok, but on YouTube for show. So that's unfortunate. But man, let's actually look into the starting quarterbacks at let's look at the roster over here at UTRGV. So position, scroll down to the quarterback position. So who are they talking about? They got a transfer from Rangel. Was this the guy? Signing day, yeah. So he just transferred there from OU. Was he from OU? OSU, I mean. And then what was the other guy they said? I don't know. They got right here. Chavez, sophomore. Aiden Jacobs. I think they said Jacobson, right? Yeah, this was the guy. Let's look at his numbers. He was there last year. Redshirt freshman, appeared in 7 games. Yeah, let's look at his numbers. It's going to show. Oh, 2025, he didn't throw the ball a lot. Threw 1 interception, 2 touchdowns, 55% completion percentage. Is he a rusher? 171 rushing yards on 17 attempts, 10.1 yards a carry. Okay. Hey, that's not bad. Small sample size, but not bad. Let's look at Raggle. Do they have let's see if they have his numbers in here. Rangle. Sorry. Mispronounced his name. Okay, they don't. What's his name? Garrett Rangle. Virginia Tech. Okay, he's from Virginia Tech. 2024 last year. Let's look at his game log from 2020. So he didn't play. Is this the guy who was the guy that they were showing was from Oklahoma State? Hometown. Let's look at his summary. Yeah, redshirt sophomore 2024, Oklahoma State. Did not see game action. Redshirt junior. Oh, so he was at Virginia Tech last year. That's why it shows Virginia Tech. These numbers are from Oklahoma State though. So that's what he was showing from 2024. Okay, and that's that long touchdown he threw right there, that 43 long yard touchdown that he threw. And was that West Virginia? I can't remember. I think it was West Virginia. Okay, so the numbers aren't great, but it's going to be a battle. Somebody's going to win the job. We'll see. This is a question mark certainly for them at UTRGV. Receiver position is a question mark for them as well. They got some questions to answer. They certainly got some questions to answer. We'll see about that. I'm almost done here with some of the things that are in the chat. So it's today. I don't want to show that. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's look at this Travis Bush. Let's look at this Travis Bush video from UTRGV, and then we will be done and we'll get out of here. Travis Bush was talking about them year 1 of their program at UTRGV.
Phenomenal group, but we come in and you start building everything and talk about it's a process. And of course, every competitor we recruited against said, "Don't go there. You're not going to win for years." And those guys came in with a chip on the shoulder, and their mindset from day one. I remember saying, I think back in 2024 here at Media Day, that we had a group of young men that their mindset was, how fast can we speed up this process? And from day one in 2024, that original group, we got 2 young men here today from that original group. I can't say enough just about what they've done day in, day out. That win-today mentality, that's all we talk about, is maximizing our potential each day, and that's what they've done. And I think if you look back at last year, it's truly a definition of truly committing to the process, being the best you can be every day, focusing on ourselves, and you get the results you want. But you couldn't draw it up any better, I think. And then just seeing a year out and the game sold out, and just leading up to that, and visualizing what that's going to be, and turning the corner on Freddie that first ball game in the bus, and just seeing the smoke from the tailgate, everything we envisioned came to life, and it was such a phenomenal atmosphere. And again, excited for year number 2.
We will see. Year 1 of UTRG was phenomenal. We'll see if they can follow that up with another good year in year 2. The woes of FCS football have certainly hit UTRGV. You have a good year. You got a lot of good talent. Most likely you're not going to see a lot of that talent that next year with all the FBS schools calling. But, we'll see if they can retool up. I'm excited to see if they can weather the transfer portal storm. But it's been an exciting night. It's been a great night. We've had a lot of people come in and come out. I appreciate you guys all tuning in for the stream. If you guys are watching right now, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel right now. Make sure you guys give this video a like. I thank you guys for all interacting with me in the chat here. It's been a great 2 hours. I told the chat last night, I'm going to try to go live once a week if I can, at least until we get it. I'm going to be going live, obviously, every morning once the football season starts. So make sure you guys tune in from 6 to 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for me going live on the Samuel Akem show. Akem's analysis will be Monday and Thursday. Live game reactions will be on Saturdays, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday will be NFL. Wednesday will be FBS. And Friday will just be general football. But I'll give you guys my picks and things like that on Friday's show. So make sure you guys come, stay tuned in, subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate you guys for tapping in. I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.